4 years have passed since the mortal races banded together and stood united against the might of the Burning Legion. Though Azeroth was saved, the tenuous pact between the Horde and the Alliance has all but evaporated. The drums of war thunder once again.
In a land of mighty kingdoms, new threats emerge. Ancient alliances are reforged, and an unexplored world awaits. Blizzard Entertainment proudly invites you to experience Warcraft from a whole new perspective. Stake your claim. Live the legend. A world awaits. The world of Warcraft.
And we are live, ladies and gentlemen. Another day closer. Another day closer. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the stream. We're getting started today. Got a good one in store for you. I hope you guys enjoyed some of those hype cinematics. It's going to be a fun stream, guys. We're going to be talking about launch prep today. We're a few months out, guys. What do you guys think about that? A few months out. 2-3 months? Atticus in the house. What's up, everybody? Some new faces in the house today. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome. It's gonna be fun. I got a kind of a funny video loaded up right here that we can watch just to keep the hype, keep the spirits up. We got the classic WoW OST to keep us company today. Best video game music ever made. What do you guys think? Zelda's up there too, but that classic WoW soundtrack does something special to me. Where's everybody at? Let's show some faction love, some country love. ASL, what state, what country? Let's get to know each other a little bit, guys. Welcome to the stream. My name is Kargoz. I love this game. I love this game. World of Warcraft, best game ever made. It's one of those things you can just say like super easily. Like it's no contest, right? No contest. I love games like Halo, right? I love that franchise. There's other games that come to mind, but compared to classic WoW, you must be out your goddamn mind if you can think of another game better than classic WoW. Australia, 3 in the morning. Keeping the dream alive. Still staying conscious, man. Welcome. If this music doesn't get you hype, I don't know what in the world's gonna get you hype. It's gonna be here in the blink of an eye, guys. You know, we're gonna look back at these times, you know, the era before classic as like a giant blurry haze. We're just gonna wake up one morning and it's gonna be launch day. It's gonna be one of those things, you know, time flies. $5, man, with the $5 dono from Infiction. Thank you very much, man. First time seeing you in here. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for the support. Oh, this music came on too. This track. So much love for that classic WoW OST, baby. Welcome, everybody. We're still settling in. So the game plan today is I'm gonna go over. I'm gonna share with you guys at least my strategy, what my thought process is at the moment. With regard to launch. We're going to talk about strategies to get ahead on a fresh server. Now, Classic WoW, the launch of Classic WoW will be, it's looking like it's going to be quite a bit different from the private server launches. You know, operating in a sharded environment and, you know, potentially with the different latency and stuff like that. So we're going to get into all that today. But welcome, everybody. Evil Hawk with the 100 biddies. Thank you very much, my good man. And a Twitch Prime sub already. Man, stream starting off strong. Arcadius, thank you very much, my friend. Thank you. Welcome to the channel. Classic WoW is going to be big. You better believe it's going to be big. Let's do a quick straw poll. I want to... Quick straw poll, guys. Actually, you know what? No straw poll. Just type in the chat. I want to see the chat fucking light up right now. How hard are you guys going? 1 to 10. 1 to 10. And if you're going super hard, you can put an 11 in the chat if you want. But only if you really mean it. Because if you don't mean it, don't say it. 11 is full poop stock. Ludwig with the 3, I love it, dude. He's like, about a 3. It's funny. Lots of 10s in the chat, though. That's what we like to see. Hell yeah. I think I'm going to go 9.5, man. Nah, fuck it, 10. I'm going 10, I have to say. I'll probably try harder at this game than I ever did in any other game, to be honest. And the conditions are right, man. The stars have aligned. Like, meeting all you people... You guys inspire me, man. Like, just seeing the amount of love out there. Like, I'm not alone in, like, you know, my love for this game. Like, the fact that so many of you out there from across the world, like, so many different countries love this game. Man, it motivates me, you know. It makes me think, like, hey, this isn't just, you know, a meaningless thing. Like, this is actually something. You know, people care about this stuff. So, that's good to see. Lots of 10s in the chat. Got my poop socks ready. Nice, dude. What kind of cloth are you going for with the poop sock? You going wool? Nylon? I'm thinking nylon. Chaos Rider 77 with the Twitch Prime sub. Welcome to the stream community. Everything, man. Welcome, dude. Thank you. Thank you. We're going to get into this momentarily here, guys. It's a good day. Wifey's at a conference for the week. Hanging out, talking classic with the boys. 40 hours straight off launch for sure. That's ambitious, man. That's ambitious. So what happened, guys? What happened at BlizzCon 2013? Who remembers? Who was there? What happened at BlizzCon 2013, guys? You're gonna need a Kevlar poop sock. I like it, Atticus. Yes. No, you need the Kevlar poop sock. Kickstarter, please. A bit reddish camera coloring, Nikolai. It's because I'm blushing, man. I'm blushing partially because of, you know, the Coors Light in my system. But I'm blushing because I'm hanging out with the fellas, talking classic WoW. Yeah, I gotta get a better camera, though. Someday. Red shirt guy came to life. Wrath of the Lich King announced. Well, with regard to legacy servers. There we go. Some people got it. Matt, Rothy67, some people got it. You think you do? What'd he say, dude? What'd he say? Let's find out what he said, boys. Let's see. Let's find out what he said. This is a funny video. Let's start the stream off with this. Get hype. Grab some beers, grab some snacks.
Adding servers for previous expansions as they were then.
All right, I turned it up. I'm starting it over again.
Have you ever thought about adding servers for previous expansions as they were then?
No. And by the way, you don't want to do that either.
You don't know what to.
You think you do, but you don't. Remember when you had to like spam cities and say need a tank, need a tank, need a tank during the burning?
Remember, guys? You guys remember that?
I don't remember that because now you just push a button that says go to the dungeon.
Dawkins in the house.
You
What's
don't
up,
wanna do
dude?
that.
What's up, my man? What's up?
Times change.
And I want to talk about ice cream.
I love I love his face in the first one, though, right? He
Ice
says it
cream
with such
is
confidence.
great. Ice cream is one of my favorite desserts. Personally, I love chocolate, and I love cookies and cream.
Cookies and cream is WOD, right? What's cookies and
and
cream? Warlords
is
of Draenor?
actually my all-time
Cataclysm?
favorite dessert.
Cataclysm, cookies and cream? Cookies and Cataclysm?
But I understand that for some of you, your favorite flavor is vanilla.
Let's get fucking hype in the chat, boys. Let's get fucking hype in the chat. Whose favorite flavor is vanilla, boys?
Someone once said that you can't go home again,
Not a
Think
fan
you
of
do,
gnomes, but
you don't.
but they lacked vision.
there we go.
And the chuckles
That's
is
the
the
hype we like to
later.
see in the chat. There we go. Rewind it. Rewind it. Rewind it, Blizzard. Bring it back. Keep going. Keep going. Keep bringing that. No pandas. No pandas. No Deathwing. No. Keep rewinding it, Blizzard. Nope. None of this. None of this. Stone Rot Dam. Keep it intact, please. All the way. Keep going, Blizz. Even past the Blood Elves.
My favorite flavor is vanilla.
There we go. 10 PLN from Marcus. Thank you, my friend. Right there. That's the sweet spot right there. Oh, yeah. That's cinematic as beast mode. What a way to start the stream, right? Oh, we're killing it, guys. Feels good, man.
Fans of World of Warcraft around the world, we hear you.
You think you do, but you don't.
I am pleased and also a little bit nervous to announce the development of a classic server option for World of Warcraft.
My man. From feels bad, man, to feels good, man.
This is a larger endeavor than you might imagine, but we are committed to making an authentic Blizzard quality classic experience.
Absolute cringe.
We want to reproduce the game experience that we all enjoyed from the original classic WoW, not the actual launch experience. So please bear with us. It's going to take some time, but it will happen. Now, I love you too.
You think you do, but you don't.
That was it, guys. That's a hell of a way to start the stream. So that's what we're going to get into today. Let me pull up my handy-dandy PowerPoint here. And we're going to go over launch strategies. We're going to go over all that good stuff. All right. So first off, who thinks we're getting a release date this week? We're going to get something, right? We're gonna get something. Based on the past couple weeks, it seems so. A beta or a release date. That's what I want this week, man. And I think if we get something, it's gonna be on Thursday. Yo, Kargoz, you gonna do a video on 3's leveling compositions and possibly dungeon farming? Yeah, all of the above. That stuff sounds really fun. That's a whole nother beast I haven't really dug into. Haven't really dug into the trio. Beta this week. I hope we get something, man. What's up, Dunadan? What's up, everybody? Pogren, bro, you're killing me. I'm hyped, guys. We're gonna. It's all right though. It's all good. Like, it's hard to see it because you know the grass is always greener and the rose-tinted goggles and all that. Like, I mean, we're gonna look back on these days fondly too, when the hype was so high and pure and everybody was like just really, was really excited, right? So we're gonna look back on these days fondly too. So just enjoy it, man. Enjoy every day. Every day we get a little bit closer, right? It's not often in life where you get so excited about stuff. You know, the older you get, the harder and harder it gets to get super hype about stuff. But anyway, this is just a little peek, man. This is what I'm thinking right now. As far as launch, let's say if it was to come out tomorrow or whatever, I think on day one, the goal, like the high level goal is to get 60 in the first week. And if I need some hours to handle personal hygiene, handle some, you know, bills and my dogs and stuff like that, I'm going to have people helping me, but this is what I'm thinking right now. Launch day, we're going to do a 24-hour stream. That's reasonable, right? Classic WoW deserves a 24-hour stream. I've never done a 24-hour stream in my life. I may pass out on camera, but I'm going to give it a shot, man. I'm going to make it all 24 hours, even if I collapse after it. And then we're going to go 6 off, 18 on. So after that 24 hours is up, I'm going to sleep for like 5 hours, wake up, conduct personal hygiene, do some pull-ups or something like that, get back on, 18 on straight. So we're going to go 6 off, 18 on, 6 off, 18 on, and then hopefully at that point, kind of sufficiently ahead of the pack, have a little bit more breathing room. I'm pretty much going to play on day one as much as necessary. It could be more than 24 hours, honestly, to get sufficiently ahead of everybody, or most people. Then 6 off, 18 on, 6 off, 18 on, then 8 off, 16 on. And if I do this for the first week, you can add up all the hours. It adds up to 124 hours played. Divided by 24, it's 5.16 days played. There's some wiggle room there. I think that's totally reasonable to do. Blizzard should be paying you to hype classics, seriously. Yeah. This is pretty nerdy, right? I mean, this is like pretty full neckbeard right here, but I'm gonna really give this streaming thing a shot. I'm really starting to enjoy it, hanging out with you guys. Oh, got a new member in the house, John Doherty. Welcome to the channel, man. Welcome to the community. You are part of the best gaming community on the planet Earth right now. Welcome, my man. You were among friends, man. 124-hour stream hype. I would probably die, bro. So this is the plan right now. This is what I'm thinking. I think 5.16 days played. I'm going to duo level it. Whether I go Hunter or Warlock, I've just come too far. The rabbit hole has gone too deep with duo leveling. I'm in love with the concept of duo leveling. I'm super passionate about it. I think it's the way. Even if I'm gonna go Hunter, I'll probably duo level with a Druid. But I may go Warlock. And one thing I'm going to reveal to you guys today is one of the hottest new duo leveling compositions that I've come across after weeks and weeks of doing this stuff. We found out about it yesterday, and we've been trying it all last night and this morning too, which we will talk about in a little bit. But for now, we're just going to go over schedule and goals. So what do you guys think? Is this realistic? Is this too nerdy? Is this OD? Anybody doing something similar? 24/4 is my goal. There's only 24 hours in the day, my man. Attic is saying I might stream for 124 hours and just let people watch me sleep. Yo, would you guys watch a sleep stream? 24 hours, dude. After 24 hours, I just put my hat down like this.
This hype train has no brakes. Let's go, boys.
Hell yeah, dude. Pogren, thanks for the $2, man. If I just put a pillow right here, dude, I'll put my partner on follow. I'll put him on follow. And I'll just sit there sleeping, and I'll just bind something to like scroll up on the mouse wheel, and I'll just like train myself to scroll up on the mouse wheel as I'm sleeping. Kargoz, me and my fella will do 4 off, 20 on for the first week. That's hardcore, man. I feel like you gotta be a little bit realistic though. Like, can you really do that? Put yourself in that position, man. Put yourself in that position. You really think you can go 20 on, 4 off? Another thing I'm thinking about too is like maybe anybody heard about doing those little naps, like taking like a 2-hour nap multiple times a day is kind of better than taking just a, you know, 5-6 hours sleep. Anybody heard about that? I'm thinking about that. I've been hearing that. I want you to explode with Classic, bro. Thank you, man. Chum Chum, welcome, dude. Welcome to the stream. I wish I could put that time in. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I'm really gonna try and give it a shot. I'm gonna try and be, you know, full-time streamer person and see how it goes. You know, test it out. I love this game. I'm really passionate about it, and it would be a dream come true, to be honest. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a shot, Dancho. Become a full-time streamer. We'll see what happens. 20 on, 4 off is only sustainable for like 2 days. That's what I'm saying. This is my worry, though. This is my worry when it comes to. Let me restart the music. Oh no, this music is good. Okay, we'll leave it. This is my worry. Like if I sleep for like 4 hours, I don't do that good when I'm sleep deprived, man. Like that's like the hardest part of the army to me. Like when we have to go do, you know, an FTX or something like that. The fact that you have to stay up and they fuck with your sleep and you have to wake up in the middle of the night. Oh man, I feel like a zombie. I feel like shit if I don't have you know, at least a minimum amount of sleep. So I feel like if I only sleep for 4 hours or something like that, for the 20 hours, if you guys are gonna be watching the stream at all, I'm probably not gonna be that entertaining or anything, man. I'm gonna be like, you know, I'm gonna be like a zombie. So I would rather get like a little bit more sleep and then actually be able to go hard and have my motivation high. You know, stay highly motivated. Yeah. Polyphasic sleep. Oh, is that what it's called? Yeah, I'm gonna look into that. I feel like I'm training for like the Olympics or some shit, but honestly, this is a big deal, man. Classic's only gonna launch twice. I mean, once back in 2004 and one more time in 2019, man. If there's ever a time to go hard for a game, this is it. This will probably be the last game I ever go super hard in. I mean, you know, I'm 28 years old right now. Like, what game's gonna come out right now that I'm gonna fall madly in love with and go this hard with? This is probably my last opportunity to go full nerd mode. So, $2 from DJ Summer. You're epic, bro. Still ganking you? Bring it on, man. Thanks for the $2 though, man. Appreciate it.
You're epic, bro. Still ganking you.
We got some Alliance. Oh god, I feel like all you are Alliance players. Wolfie, is that Wolfie from Discord? Full-time job, 2 kids, so gonna do 24 hours and try and play as much as I can and work. Yeah. I know a lot of people that are taking a week off. Anybody taking a week or 2 off from work? I think a lot of people have been saving up the PTO. That's why Blizzard needs to give us a release date, though, because people need a plan, you know? Like, a lot of us are a little bit older. Like, it's harder to just, you know, do things spur of the moment. You got to plan it out a little bit. So that's why I'm expecting a release date kind of soon. I feel like this is too much effort. Where's the enjoyable playing? Taking your time. The thing is, Thomas, like, I've done that before, though, man. Like, you know, the way you appreciate the game changes. Each person's in a different position, you know what I mean? Like, this is just one aspect of the game that I sort of enjoy. It's kind of an acquired taste, you know what I mean? I'm right there with you, though, man. Like, if this is your first time playing Classic, or if you haven't really, you know, maybe you never hit level cap back in the day, then by all means, just enjoy it, man. But if you've been part of the private server community for a while and you've been, you know, with the game for a few years, you know, you develop this kind of fresh mentality where you view the whole server, you know, progression, all the different raid tiers and patches and the way it's all rolled out. You view it as like one game, you know, a repeatable game, just like a game of soccer, a game of chess, a game of pool, and it stops, you know, you just sort of have a different perspective on it, you know what I mean? That's all I'd say. Best world PvP classes at launch, in your opinion? Man, dude. I mean, there's not going to be trinkets till phase 2. Take that with a grain of salt. No trinkets till phase 2. Release date, please, Blizzard. I hope so, man. I hope on Thursday we get something juicy. Each week we're getting closer. More pressure's mounting on Blizzard, I think, to give us a release date. Yeah, so this is my plan right now. I might try some polyphasic sleep system, but I don't want to keep turning the stream on and off. I think this is realistic. 24 hours the first day, crash for 5 hours, wake up, conduct personal hygiene, spend a little bit of time with the lady, you know, tell her I love her, tell her, like, thank you for letting me do this, and then get back on and grind with you boys for another 18. And then we'll rinse and repeat. But I think that's a pretty conservative goal. 60 in the first week, 5.16 days played. Not trying to clear out MC in the first week or anything too ambitious. I think this is totally realistic. So anyway, let's move on to the next slide. So if you guys are probably still, you know, thinking about how you're going to approach the game, and, you know, you might want to set some goals. So some goals and just open up a document, like a Word document or Notepad, and just start jotting some stuff down. So I'm going to play on an NA PvP server. That much is decided. Starting a guild alongside some of the homies like Def Camp and Melderon. Some of the other content creators you follow here on YouTube. We're going to be creating a guild together. It's going to be a 2-part guild called Invictus and Invictus Invicta. It's like a brother-sister type guild. I'm really still thinking about Warlock or Hunter though, guys. It's really weighing heavy on my conscience, man. Like, I'm a Hunter player at heart, but goddamn, the Warlock life is good. And especially after yesterday, we were doing some more duo leveling theorycraft, and we found out Warlock. I'll spoil it right now. I'll give you a little taste. Warlock is the nuts, but it's not what you... Warlock is a dual leveling composition. It may not be what you're thinking right now. You may be thinking, you know, double Voidwalker tanks and or something like that. It's not really like that. There's a very strange way to play Warlock, which we'll get into, but it is so good. You really, I think the name we're calling the build is the outside of the 5-second rule build. There's a way to basically persistently, continuously benefit from outside the 5-second rule levels of regen, and we'll get into it in a little bit later in the stream. But Warlock or Hunter Druid is probably what I'm going to duo level. I feel like a broken record now, guys, but I love duo leveling. I really strongly recommend you guys to consider it. If you have a friend that you really enjoy, you know, their company, because you have to enjoy their company, right? If you can't stand the person, you're gonna fall out like right away. But if you can find someone who has a somewhat similar play schedule to you, even if you don't go all the way to 60 with them, just duo leveling for a little bit will create some really good memories, man. And there's a lot of these accelerations that you can benefit from in a duo leveling environment. Were you Invictus on Alex Draza? Nah, this is a brand new like guild name. Never had this guild tag before. Kargoz, any way to level in a group with elite world mobs? With elites? Yeah, if you like 5-man AoE grind elites, that's a thing. That's a thing. You get 200% XP from elites. So I've heard of that definitely happening. How do you feel about melee hunters? I don't feel... I mean, like a full-on survival hunter, I don't feel too good about. But one thing that's interesting is that you can weave melees, you can weave raptor strikes in between, you know, in that kind of flex spot between your rotation. And one thing that's interesting about Tauren hunters in Classic WoW is that Tauren hunters actually have a 3-yard bigger hitbox, right? So they can connect with melees with a target 3 yards larger than other races. That's not reflected on private servers. That's going to be an interesting thing to play around with, because there's a chance that it could be really good with Hunter. You might be able to sit right on that equilibrium between being able to ranged auto attack and melee auto attack, and weave in raptor strikes a lot more seamlessly, and it could be really good. Something I'm really excited to test out. Duo box double mage. Well, coincidentally, this double warlock duo leveling composition, which we'll get into a little bit, is super good if you were to duo box or double box, whatever it's called. Their actual shoot range is further too for Tauren. Yeah, I mean that's not something reflected in the private server, so I'm really excited to try that out, Chauncey. Thanks for telling me that. Okay, we got some Twitch Prime subs. I'm a little late. Here we go. So we have first up Cadus01 with the Twitch Prime sub. Welcome to the channel, my man. Welcome. Thank you for your support, my friend. And next up, we have the Bearded God. The same goes to you, man. New faces in the chat. It's always good to see new people coming into the channel. Welcome, guys. Thank you so very much. So yeah, this is the schedule and the goals. Gonna start this guild. Gonna definitely duo level for sure. I'll give you a little taste of what like a 1 to 20 looks like for me. At least what where my headspace is at right now. Hopefully, it can be somewhat beneficial to you guys. What's up, Warlock brother? Hey, Waladi, good to see you in here, man. Lots of people that have been with the channel for months in the chat. Really, really good to see. So I'm gonna stream the whole experience. It's gonna be cool. I think it'll be cool. It'll be footage that I can look back on fondly, right? Classic's official launch, being able to stream the whole thing. Oh man, that's gonna be like a time capsule. I think that's something I will cherish, honestly. Like, as corny as that sounds, I will cherish that footage, man. I can look back on that when I'm an old man and be like, dude, that was an era, man. Classic WoW was a freaking era. I can look back and see exactly where I was at and who, you know.
Are your previous streams archived somewhere?
Marcus, are your previous streamed archived somewhere? So I don't post them on YouTube. I think people come to my YouTube channel to watch actual, like, you know, videos and, you know, hearing me engage with the chat and stuff. A lot of people don't really like to listen to that, but it's on Twitch. If you go to Twitch and just hit videos, you can see a good amount of streams going back a little bit. Thank you for the 10 PLN, Marcus. Appreciate it, man. And another thing we've been working on, guys, I'm sure some of you have heard of it. We haven't revealed it yet. We're not going to reveal it up until basically Classic is about to launch. But we've been working on a leveling guide, a really, really good leveling guide. And I myself have been more on the testing end of it, right? So it's mainly been Navic and Egregious working on this thing. They've been cranking on this leveling guide. The day after Classic was launched, they were on the Elysium QA team. And the day after Classic launched, they started working on this guide. I've never seen anything like it. It is so, so good. It's not only really hyper efficient, but it's designed around duo leveling, which I think is super refreshing. It's not designed around being a hunter player or something like that. And the other thing is it's just really fun too. Like, it's really efficient on multiple fronts. Like, you're training cooking, and it's a whole new perspective. It's so refreshing and so fun to play. There's really a lot of entertainment value in this guide. So just something to tease at right now. We'll be rolling that out and sharing that with the community as we get a little bit closer. I honestly think you're wrong about that. A lot of people would appreciate seeing your old YouTube streams on YouTube. Yeah, maybe. I mean, that's what Twitch is for, I feel, though. You can just go to Twitch and look at them, because I get a little bit of hate when I do that. Nothing too crazy, though. You're not afraid about the probably insane number of people who want to gank you on stream? I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little bit worried about it. Yeah, I mean, if we have a couple thousand people watching the stream, I'm a little bit worried about it. But at the same time, I feel like I'd be a good sport about it. Like, bring it on. You know, that's kind of... I love World PvP at the end of the day. So I started my channel. Like, the roots of my channel was making PvP Legion content. I was playing Survival Hunter and making guides for it. And, you know, I think it'll be cool. I also like our chances, too. So we're going to be on a server with a lot of other content creators and stuff like that. So my gut's telling me it's going to be pretty horde favored. Maybe not, though. I think I've probably made a few enemies with some gnome rogues out there. So we'll see what happens. Don't worry, bro. The homies got you. That's right, Iron Wolf. Rain Iron Wolf, man. Guildy in the chat. Yeah, you got me, man. Appreciate it. So this is kind of the schedule and the goals. 1 to 60 in the first week, man. Gonna stream the whole thing. Gonna duo level. Gonna start this guild. Man, it's gonna be a lot of fun. So here we go. So the general thing is I'm gonna solo to 6. This is something we've been practicing for weeks and weeks now. Gonna solo to 6 and then duo outside of Valley of Trials or whatever starting area it is. And you can basically, depending on what quest you're at, some quests are more advantageous to duo on, some are more advantageous to split up on. Like Solvent Spirit, for example, when you have to go kill all the crabs or lobsters or whatever, you want to knock that out solo, most likely. But some stuff, like killing those centaurs or doing the Zalazane questline, killing those trolls, it's advantageous to duo up on those. So pretty much starting from level 6 after you complete that starting zone is a good opportunity to link up and at least have your buddy as an option on the table if you need to leverage them as an asset to you. So yeah, I'm going to play as long as needed on launch to get sufficiently ahead of the pack. I'm just going to have to feel it out. And one thing that's a really nice little guideline is to have some XP per hour benchmarks based on your class. You know, from 10 to 20, from 20 to 30, from 30 to 40. You may say to yourself, all right, from 40 to 50, I'm shooting for 45k XP per hour. And just to have that in the back of your mind. So as you're leveling, you can go, you know, I'm a little bit below this right now. I might have to push a little bit harder. These are little pro tips. We're going to go over a lot of tips. No honor first phase. You will get out-leveled trying to gank for nothing. It's going to be crazy, man. Phase 1, there's going to be no DKs. What do you guys think about phase 1? You think it's going to be... I'm trying to visualize phase 1 right now. So there's no incentive in the most straightforward sense to get honor kills, right? I mean, there's no honor. So there's no honor. You can kill people. Dishonorable kills are not a thing, so you can kill quest givers freely. Is phase 1 going to be a shit show? Phase 1 could be a shit show, man. Like, I'm going to feel bad for the farmers in Westfall, man. I feel like there's going to be undead rogues out there all the time just clapping them. When will your leveling guide be out? It's a little TBD, man. As we get a little bit closer, we get a release date, we're going to roll it out alongside the website we've been working on. Yes. Did you play on Skull Crusher back in the day? Yes, dude. Selkie. Yes, I did. Skull Crusher. Yup. The Skull Crusher, Dark Iron, and Nerzul. First character I ever made was on Illyria, but then just got him to level 17 and stopped. But it was Skull Crusher, Dark Iron, and Nerzul, and Anderhall. Those are pretty much all the servers I played over all the years. That's crazy, man. Yeah, that was me, bro. Could not care if there's no HK. If you're taking my quest mobs, you're dead. Yeah, I mean, the fact that there's no dishonorable kills in phase 1, people might be tempted, you know? People might be tempted to just kill just indiscriminately, just because it's kind of a refreshing thing. That's not a thing that we've experienced on the private servers, you know? Nice, I knew that name looked familiar. Cool, man. Yeah, message me in Discord. Actually, I'm curious what your name was and what's going on with you. When leveling Hunter, do you kill Warlocks easy in World PvP? Actually, Warlocks are quite a pain in the butt as a Hunter. It's really hard to out-attrition them. You can't, if they sack their Voidwalker, it's really, you don't have a Dispel or anything like that, so you can't take it off. And then even if you do manage to kill them, they can pop back up again with Soulstone and usually take you out. A lot depends in World PvP, though, on the opener. You know what I mean? Like, if you can get a really solid opener. It also depends on what level range you are on. I mean, if you have, like, Bestial Wrath and Intimidation, you open up on them, you might be in good shape. But if you meet out in equal footing or something in the mid-30s, it's really, really tough to kill the lock. Also, if they have the double Voidwalker, the, what is it called? Fell Domination Master Summoner thing. So even if they sack their Voidwalker, they can summon another one, like, super quick and sack it again. Nicky Night Night, man, that's really hard to take them out. Will you be sipping premium Cerveza for classic launch? You already know, dude. I'm sipping on this Coors Light because I got a wedding coming up in a month. Actually, a month and 3 days. 1 month and 3 days, I'll be a married man. Feels good, man. So after the wedding, man, I'll go back to my Stellas. I love drinking Stellas. Do you think people will assassinate pro PvE players from the other faction? Maybe, dude. I think one thing that's going to be a thing, which I'm excited for, is bounties. So people are going to put a hit out on someone. They're going to say, like, yo, this streamer or this guy, kill on sight. Like, you know, he pissed me off. He did something disrespectful. And you can say, I'll give you 20 gold if you kill him and take a screenshot over his body, you know, on a bounty. And that's kind of cool. I think that's kind of cool, you know. So I think that's going to be a thing. And I like that kind of spirit of the game, you know. Make the world feel dangerous, man. Stella is called wife beater over here in the UK. Oh my god, dude. I'm so glad that after all of these years, you're gonna get that vanilla feel. Me too, man. Me too. I really do think, guys, in my heart of heart, this is gonna be the. I mean, maybe I'm in a unique position as you know, content creator or whatever, but I really feel I'm gonna have more fun with this game than I have with any other game in my life. Like, how could we not? Like, this community we have right here, we're all talking with each other, getting excited for this, and we've already, like, kind of experienced this in our childhood once before, and we know how awesome it is, the potential of it. A lot of us are a little bit older, so we probably value a community a little bit more and realize, you know, the importance of a strong community, a healthy community, and we have a lot more, you know, maybe friends that will play with us again. So I feel like we're gonna have so much fun this time around. I mean, it's not going to be the same. Nothing will ever be the same. You can't go back in time and create the same mindset you had and all that. But that's okay. I kind of prefer my mindset on it right now. And I still think, like...
Love your stream. Keep the donations rolling.
Who did that? Holtzy with the 199. Love your stream. Thank you, man. Thank you for the $2, my man. Appreciate the support, dude. I think we're going to have more fun this time around. I really do. I think it's going to be so much fun, man. It's still so surreal to me to think, you know, all those years playing this game as a little kid, it didn't really go to waste, you know? Like, I mean, me personally, like, I feel like I was part of the last generation of kids that were kind of, it kind of looked bad if you played a lot of games. I don't know, I feel like it's a lot more accepted right now. Like, if you're a little kid, you're playing Fortnite, and the parents are looking at Ninja and all these streamers and stuff.
Dude, do you know of any good feral druid tanking guides for a complete WoW noob?
Oh, absolutely, Toby. Thanks for the $2. So you want to hit up a guy named Taladrill. He's a close friend and a colleague. Hit up Taladrill or hit up the Druid Classic Discord. Druids are probably have the most enthusiasts in their class. I mean, maybe not in sheer numbers, but the Druids that I've got to interact with in the Druid Classic Discord are like none other. Like they're like no other class of enthusiasts for other classes. Druids work really hard. They are the underdogs. They do the homework. They go above and beyond, and they take care of each other in there. So hit up the Druid Classic Discord, my man. Holy crap, dude. We got a $50 donation, man. Nicholas Stain. Oh my god, dude. Yo, I don't get to
catch your streams often, but your content is top notch. Keep it up and grats on the wedding.
Yo, my man Nicholas, thank you very much, dude. That is a very generous donation, my friend. I'm so glad you enjoy the content, man. Thank you again, dude. Holy crap, you guys are too kind today. Oh man, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so druids are like the underdogs, you know. And one thing I really like about the druid class is that they kind of have this brotherhood because they are the underdogs, because they do face a lot of this prejudice, and they do have this like sanctuary together in Moonglade. You know, they can teleport there, and both factions, you know, come there, and there's not that many druids. Are like the least played class overall, pretty much, because they're on both factions. Like, when you look at it, sometimes druids aren't the least played, but you have to realize they're on both factions. You know, shaman and paladin are only on one faction. So druids in general are like the least played, and they kind of have this brotherhood, and they don't really gank each other. I love that. And I think when you think about human psychology too, if you're playing stuff like a druid, and you know you have this little sanctuary, and you're in these druidy zones, like I do think like something psychologically makes you not want to gank people as much. You know, you kind of even if you have no interest in like RP or anything like that, if you're playing a druid, you know, it does something to you. I can't believe that people unironically think druid is a bad class in vanilla. That's the thing about druid, though. You know, in the earlier stages of vanilla, you know, maybe people didn't know. Maybe it was a combination of people not knowing how to play them super well. You know, just a lack of knowledge when it comes to itemization and threat or whatever. But they built up kind of a bad reputation. But the cool thing is that in 112, which is the environment we're going to be playing this game in, the class is pretty much across the border in a really good kind of balanced state. So I think druids are well positioned. I think this time around we're going to see a lot more druids. I don't know what you guys think. I think we're going to see a lot more shamans, a lot more druids, a lot more hybrids. And of all the iterations of WoW, I love how hybrids operate in vanilla. I feel like in vanilla it's punishing. You can't have your cake and eat it too. You know, you can't dual spec. There's no dual spec in vanilla. So you really only have so much gold. Like, you don't have just hundreds and hundreds of gold lying around all the time to respec back and forth. So these hybrids really shine. You know, if you're this kind of in-between build, and then outside of raid you're still be able, you know, to tank, heal, or DPS and get stuff done and engage with the world in an efficient way. I just think hybrids are a blast in vanilla, man. Hey Will, what's up? Kargoz was good? Man, life is good right now, dude. We're just talking classic, you know, chilling with the boys, man. It's a good day. It's a good day. Welcome everybody. Shaman is the way to go. All right, I've been talking a lot. Let's switch it up a little bit. I want to get some feedback from you guys. If you could be so kind, I'm gonna drop a straw poll in the chat. Since we have a lot of people in here across all of the platforms, we have over 1,000 people in here. I want to see what the class distribution was looking like. I want to see which one you're gonna level first. Let's go with level first. Yeah, let's do that. I'm gonna drop the straw poll in, so if I stay silent, don't be freaked out. I'm just typing.
Love what you're doing, man. Have a couple beers on me. Cheers.
Oh shoot, did we get another donation? 100 MX, dude. Holy moly. Exa with the 100 MX, bro. Thank you very much, dude. Have a couple beers on me. I appreciate it, my man. You guys are too kind today. Okay, we're almost done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Druid, and what am I missing? 8. Every time I try and list out all 9 classes, I'm always missing one, dude, and it's hard for me to remember. We got Warlock, Mage, Warrior, Priest, Druid, Shaman. Paladin, that's it. Okay. Alright, straw poll's coming in the chat right now. Hot and fresh, guys. You could be so kind as to oblige me and let me know what class you're going to play. I would appreciate it. Did I see you, Perfect Stealth, in here for 1 second, man? Welcome, dude. Perfect Stealth is my man's. Oh, man, got some Twitch Prime subs as well. Damn. The streamer life. Hydra Best, subscribe to Twitch Prime. And D4WN Thief. My friends, welcome to the channel. The water is fine. Stay a while, man. You are amongst friends, my friends. Welcome to the channel. Thanks for the support. So if you could be so kind, man, the straw poll is in the chat right now. Let's see where everybody's at. Straw poll in here. All right. I'm actually gonna put I'm not even gonna vote, I guess, because I don't know. I'm still undecided. Still undecided. So keep in mind as you vote here too that we're not gonna be in an environment with Dire Maul on launch. So already I'm seeing Mage first. And maybe it's because we have a lot of Mage players in here. But we have to keep in mind that you're not gonna have like Dire Maul as your playground on launch. But that may be okay. Wow, it's really close. Between Mage and Warrior, 50 on Mage, 50. It's exactly tied. Mage and Warrior, wow. And Druid at number 3. That's one thing I keep noticing when I do the streams. It seems like there's a lot of Druid players. Interesting, man. What's the least? Let's see. Paladin with 23 votes. It's not too bad, though. 26 Gnome Rogues coming after you, Kargoz. Yeah. Oh, man. It's gonna be crazy, dude. I can only imagine what it's gonna feel like the first time I get ganked by 5 Gnome Rogues and they all ambush me at the same time. Kargoz, how difficult is it to hit rank 13, 14 as a priest compared to other classes? I don't know if one class is harder than another to get rank 14. I mean, some people say like paladins and stuff are more accessible, and it's easier to be a competent paladin than it is to be a competent priest, if you know what I'm saying. So in that sense, you know, paladin might be a little bit easier to hit rank 13 or 14, but I mean the grind it's a serious grind to get 13 or 14, like on any class, you know what I mean? And you're really going to be totally reliant on your pre-made and your team, right? So I don't know if you can really speak and say one class is easier than another. What professions will you go for pre and post 60? If you go hunter, lock. So I wouldn't go hunter lock, but if I was a hunter, I would likely go I'd likely just go skinning. If I went hunter lock, this is what I would do. Actually, I would go skinning leatherworking on the hunter, and then I would go tailoring enchanting on the wand, so we could funnel over, you know, lots of gear for the wand, for the lock to disenchant, so he could get wands. That's what I would do if I had to do that one. Horde versus Alliance, straw poll. Damn, you guys want to see some factions for straw polls? I assume all of you are Horde, right? There'd be no filthy Alliance in my chat, right? Let's see. All right. I don't want to see any votes for Alliance in here, right? I'm assuming all of you are good people, right? No one would be so messed up as to be Alliance. Wow, Alliance is winning. Oh my god, dude. Holy crap, dude. It's actually kind of close though, man. 101 votes to 93 votes. No one's Venture Co. Okay. Damn. That seems about right. 50 to... Oh, it's evening out. It's evening out. I spoke too soon. Loktar Ogar. Hell yeah, man. Alright, let's see who's going to win this. First, let's go first to 200. We're both at 150 right now. They're almost identical. Can we get it to 200 votes, boys? Let's see. There's a ton of votes. 320 votes in the chat. Wow. I'll post it again for those of you just joining right now. Just vote Horde or Alliance, boys. If Horde doesn't win, man, I'm turning off the stream. I'm turning off the stream if Horde doesn't win. First to 200. I got my finger on the trigger right now. Oh god, Alliance is winning still. Rip stream. Rip stream. Oh god. Let's go Horde, dude. 20 more votes, Horde. Alright, Horde's pulling ahead, thank god. Venture Co, right? What if Venture Co? What if they added Venture Co to the new WoW expansion? Oh god, it's so close. Please, Horde win. I don't want to turn off the stream. I'm having a good time. 4 votes. Oh, we did it. We did it. Oh man. We did it. Just barely saved. Horde clutched it. Good to see. Loktar, my brothers. Alright, let's go to the next slide. So, schedule and goals. I talked about the plan overview a little bit. Let's talk about leveling route. This is a big one. I mean, there's so much to unpack here. We could talk for hours and hours about this, but have some sort of general sense of what your leveling route's going to be. I think a lot of us can relate. In vanilla, it's very easy to feel overwhelmed, and once you feel overwhelmed and you don't know what to do next, it's very easy to burn out. Your motivation will just plummet. So if you just go into it, you don't have to be the most, 200 IQ player, but if you have a general sense, I'm going to stay in these zones at this level range, and you get a general sense of what zones have, appropriate level quests and mobs for you, I think you're going to be in a great position. You know what I mean? So just refamiliarize yourself with all the zones, figure out what level ranges they are. Also, it's pretty easy to plan out the starting area zones. Just, practice it, refresh your knowledge on those. That's what I would say. Where can I see your duo gameplay? I would like to see an example. I'd love to share with you an example, man. You can look at some of the demo footage. We did some duo leveling testing on the demo. But we've learned a lot since the demo, guys. But duo leveling, guys, like, don't just don't take my word for it. Just try it. It is so much fun. I really feel it's not only the most efficient line of play, but it's the most fun. And so many different talent builds, so many different play styles come online and become viable in a duo leveling environment. Stuff like Balance Druids, stuff like Arcane Mages. These are really not memes in a duo leveling environment. This is a legitimate, efficient way to play the game and a fun way to play the game. And it's the idea, like, together stronger. You know what I mean? I love that. I love that. Can you show a level 42 Warlock talent guide? If you should go into demo. Yeah, I can show it real quick. 42? Up to 42? Sure, man. Alright. Warlock 42. Are you solo or are you duo? I'll just assume that you're solo. Go 5 out of 5 corruption, 2 into improved life tap. We talked about this for like a very long time. Why improve Drain Soul. Drain Soul is not something you necessarily need to rush. It gets a little bit better as you continue to level up. But go 5 corruption, 2 improved life tap, 2 here, 2 here. One final one here. So pretty much at this point, after Siphon Life, you can go into Demonology and get Improved Voidwalker, or you can just proceed down the Affliction tree and get some more stuff. You can get Shadow Mastery. 40 something, right? Anyway, this is pretty much it, man. 42. This is what I would do. That makes sense. All right. So yeah, you can put together a little infographic type thing. Like, this is something I did. I've since changed my position on a lot of this stuff as far as my like 1 to 20 is concerned. This is from one of my videos a while ago, like a 1 to 14 Duratar. But you can just go to Classic DB and search different zones, and you can get a pretty decent list of all the quests there. Classic DB isn't perfect, but you can kind of figure out more or less what quests are available in the zone, and just kind of refamiliarize yourself with them, and you can plot out like a general thing. Now, one thing too is just have in your mind that, like, if you are behind, if you feel behind, if you're feeling weak, if you're feeling like you're not able to deal with the mobs in a pretty efficient way wherever you're at, just go to an area with mobs that are your level or a little bit lower and just grind a level or two and catch up. So you can one of the things that separates some of the best levelers for some of the pretty good levelers is the ability to be adaptive, because you can go into a server with the most insane planned out to the T, and then you hop into a fresh server and all the mobs are taken and you can't execute your plan at all based on how you planned, and now you have to shift gears and you have to pivot and do something else. So be adaptive, man. What do you think of improved imp with triangle trapping? Yeah, we tried that, Bob. We tried it at various level ranges. We thought it might be good. Even after you get Voidwalker, we thought it could be good, maybe from the 10 to 15 bracket, continuing to use imp with improved Firebolt. It ended up being better if you don't have a wand. If you have a wand, the Voidwalker was considerably better. Considerably better. It's not bad, though. And if you are duo leveling, it changes things. Like, if you're going with the Paladin, you can get value from that improved Fire Shield. That's another consideration. But for solo leveling, I would just go with the Voidwalker pretty much, even right at 10. How important is it that PvP servers remain faction locked like they were vanilla? And that's important. What do you guys think? I mean, they're going to have them faction locked, man. That'd be kind of against the spirit of vanilla, I think, if you were able to make both Alliance and Horde. Hey, Smoker Ren, dude. That's Mooflake, right? What's up, dude? Good to see you in here, my man. Good to see you. Kargoz, you plan on running a guild for Classic? I don't plan on running one, but I plan on starting one alongside some friends. So Def Camp Melderon, you follow them probably, guys. A few other of the smaller content creators. We're coming together. We're making a guild. I don't have the experience to be a guild leader or a raid leader or anything like that, but I do love this game, and I do think I would be good as like a community figure, like community arm, you know, just doing like fun events with you guys, still streaming, doing like talk shows, things like that. So I kind of want to function like in that respect for the guild, help like bring in new blood, new people to you know, fill the ranks and stay kind of more a little bit on the more casual end of the raiding side. Yeah, faction locking would definitely be important, I'd have to say. I hope we have the old friends lists. We have faction locked. What else, man? Can you level as a bear pulling many mobs? Yes, absolutely. You can level as a bear. So maybe it's a playstyle thing, but pretty much even when I get cat form, when I'm leveling a druid and I get to 20 and I get cat form, I don't just use cat form at that point because you don't have like rake or anything. Like you get rake at 24. That'd probably be the minimum point where I start using cat form more. I would pretty much stay in bear form and use cat form as like a travel form if you're 21 and you're feral. But bear form is really good in the sense that you don't get punished too much swapping in and out of bear form. You start with 0 rage, but so what? You know what I mean? And the damage taken is considerably lower. You still do pretty phenomenal damage as a bear. And you can pop out of bear, roll a couple hots on yourself, go back into bear. And before you have all like the fear talents in resto, and you have stuff like rake and ferocious bite, I really enjoy leveling as a bear. My only concern is that Blizzard has made 0 mention of faction locking in all their updates. I feel like they've talked about it lightly. I don't think they're gonna have it not be faction locked though, man. I'm a little concerned about the friends list though. I really hope that when we press O, when you press O in the game, the social pane, it doesn't show all the BNet people. I think that would... I think most people want that though. I feel like I'm in the minority there. But I do enjoy the old friends list, you know? Like, you just add someone in game and all you have is just their character name. It makes their character name much more important than their real name, you know? Like, if you know the character, the guy who's piloting the character is named John, you know, Joe Johnson, you might call him Joe or something, you know what I mean? You lose a little bit of that immersion, so I'd prefer just to have the character name. That's who you are in this world. When you make that character, that's how people address you, that's how people know you as, and there's, the waters aren't kind of muddied. Will you make more leveling group videos? We're actually going to release a full-on leveling guide, man, for both Alliance and Horde, but we're just a little bit too far out still. BNet is openable out of the game. That I would have no problem with. That'd be great. I think that'd probably be the best way of doing it, right? Having BNet just a thing you can tab out and go look at. No issue with that, just its own little separate app. But in-game, when you're logged into Classic, you press O, no mention of BattleNet. You don't see your friends playing Overwatch and Hearthstone and all that. 25 to 60 in Bear is so slow. You are super enthusiastic for everything, and that's awesome, but answering yes to every question isn't very helpful. Cordy, I really mean it though, man. Like, once you have stuff like Rake and you have Ferocious Bite at 32, cat form becomes much more valuable, but you're taking a lot more damage too. So oftentimes when I'm leveling a druid, if I feel like I'm in a high mob density area where I'm going to pull multiple mobs and take a lot of damage and potentially die, I will opt for the safer line of play and sit bear form. Like, on God, Cordy, I really enjoy being in bear, to be honest. I don't enjoy the glass cannon playstyles quite as much with cat, but it is good. It's very strong, and you know, if front shredding was a thing too, then you're pretty much, as soon as you have shred, you're going to be sitting in cat. But I enjoy bear. Prediction of release date. No idea, man. I'm thinking maybe early August at this point because we still don't have a beta release date or anything like that. Oh, we got another Twitch Prime sub. We have ain't Twitch. Subscribe to Twitch Prime. Thank you very much, my friend. Welcome to the channel. Okay. WoW Classic looks more fun than BFA. I don't think you're gonna get any people to disagree with you here, man. What are the XP benchmarks you were talking about before? Is there a video on the XP per hour benchmarks? No, you're gonna have to just try it out and feel it out, JP. It's gonna depend on a lot of things. It's gonna depend on if you're solo, if you're duo, what class you are, if you're AoE grinding. But generally, if you're trying to design a leveling route, you go out there and you grind for, let's say, 20 minutes or 10 minutes, whatever, however long you need to get a pretty good sample set of the most optimal mobs you can grind. So if you're a warrior, maybe you're killing low armor targets, beasts, or well, low armor, maybe whelps or something like that. You find, based on whatever level range, the most optimal mobs to grind. You find out how much XP you're getting per 10 minutes or whatever. You can just multiply it by 6, find out what the XP per hour is, and then you try and beat it with questing. You try and find a path that allows you to quest more efficiently than that benchmark. Kargoz, do you think Blizzard will release the server to compete with ESO, new X-Pack? I don't know what that is, man. ESO? Elder Scrolls Online? I have no idea, man. All I know is if you're not playing Classic WoW come this summer, you're wrong, man. This game is something special. And if you love MMOs, you gotta give Classic WoW a shot, man. I'm just kind of like zoned out of any other game coming out right now. Kargoz, I want to play Pally, but I'm afraid I'm going to burn out of their auto attacks heavy rotation. Well, Pallies have grown on me a lot, Mr. Canson. What I would recommend is the duo level as a Paladin, man. I think there's few things more satisfying than AoE tanking as a Paladin. Super fun AoE tanking in dungeons, being able to put on reflect gear and throw down this consecrate. It's also pretty straightforward as tanking as a Paladin. You have so much utility, and if you don't want the monotony of auto attacking as deep ret, go Prot Holy in duo level. No problem, man, no problem. I'm curious about whether dynamic respawn is only a private server thing or whether Blizzard will implement it. It doesn't... Okay, so here's the thing. So you have two ways of addressing like a lot of people playing on the same server. You have dynamic respawns and you have sharding. So dynamic respawns relates to cranking up the knob or whatever, however it works on Blizzard's backend, of if there's a lot of people killing the same mobs in a certain area, they can dynamically increase the rate at which they respawn. So it'll go down from that 5-minute standard respawn time to like 2 minutes or 3 minutes, right? The other way to do it is through sharding, where you break it up into these little shards, almost like little mini instanced environments. So it seems like Blizzard is going to opt for sharding, but only in the starting zones and only for the first week or two. Just until launch kind of stabilizes a little bit. I don't think they're going to go with dynamic respawns. And the thing is, I don't think they'll need dynamic respawns because on these private servers, you have these massive populations. Like you have 5k people plus at minimum. You know, oftentimes it's 10k plus. You know, when Voldemort was at its peak, and that's a whole different beast. The world isn't really meant to handle that many people playing at the same time. So, because we're going to potentially have 2.5, that's one thing I'm really, really anxious about, though. I would love to get a little bit of color on how many people we can expect per server. I think that's going to change a lot. But we're only going to have maybe 2.5, 3k people on these servers, on a given server, so I don't think you're going to need dynamic respawns. Any news on the Classic release date? James Frost. No, man. Only that Blizzard has promised us a Classic summer, and that I don't know what you guys think, I feel that in order for them to be true with that, commitment and what they said, they need to at least give us a month of summertime playing Classic for us to feel like it's a Classic summer. You know what I mean? So you can kind of go backwards for a month from the last day of summer and find out when the latest a release date would happen. Which I think if we talked about it before, it would be like sometime in August, right? And then I also think on the front end, Blizzard has to give us a month to prepare. It would be kind of crazy if Blizzard said Classic's coming out in 2 weeks, right? People might get, that might have an adverse effect on the launch. So I feel like they need to give us a month before they release it and a month to play during the summer. So we're getting really, really close to that window already of when Classic's going to be out. 2 mil plus at launch, saying? I think that maybe worst case scenario. That's an interesting thing. We can do a straw poll on that. I always love hearing your guys' opinions on this. And it's hard not to drink the Kool-Aid, man, but I really feel that there's a lot of sleeper cells out there. A lot of people that haven't played the game since TBC. A lot of people quit during TBC, right? So many people, millions and millions of people dropped off at TBC. Maybe not millions, maybe like a mil or something like that. But a lot of people dropped off at TBC and Wrath. Some people stopped after Vanilla. And these people have just never touched the game again. And with Classic coming out, it's hard to get a figure of how many people that really is. But at least personally in my own life, amongst my own friend circle that I grew up with, and we played this game together, basically 3 out of, so it's Max, Jose, Jim, Michi, myself, Alejandro. So there's 6 of us, right? And 3 of the 6 of my direct friend group right now haven't played the game since TBC. They played TBC and they were done. So, you know, that makes me think there's probably a lot of sleeper cells out there that might be in the same boat that are going to come back and give Classic a shot. So I'm going to put a straw poll in the chat. Launch. What should we structure it as? Launch predictions? Nah. Okay. Launch predictions. 2 mil. Well, okay, we'll do one lower estimate. 500K, 1 mil, 2 mil, 5 mil, 10 mil, 15 mil. Let's see, dude. So let's just keep it hype. Let's not talk about, you know, what the drop-off's going to be. It's too speculative, you know what I mean, to talk about how many people are going to stop playing the game after a month or two. But let's let's focus on the positive. How many people do you think we're going to see in the first week or so? I think there's a shot that it's a lot. I think we're going to be on, you know, like the front page of Twitch. I think you know, this game is not just a game to a lot of people's minds, you know what I mean? Like, this game is an achievement, man. It was like a historical achievement, man, in the games industry. It was a real game changer. So I think people from all walks of life who play all different types of games would be supportive of this game's success, if that makes sense. 6 mil at launch. Did I put it in the chat? Did I? I think I did, right? There we go. Yeah, vote on that if you could be so kind, guys. Kargoz, for TBC and Wrath, I bought the hard copy at night in a game store release event. You think Classic will have the same celebration? Well, we're not going to have any hard copy thing. If there was a hard copy of Classic that I could purchase to support Blizzard, I absolutely would. I love collecting that kind of stuff. I'm a little bit old school like that. I care. You can see in the background, I have a lot of like physical games. I know everybody likes downloading them now, but I like being able to physically touch the case, you know, like that. You know, even collecting DVDs back in the day, I'm kind of like a kind of collector like that. I don't know. I want a hard copy, right? Man, dude, would I kill for one of those, like, real vanilla WoW collector's editions, man? Looks so sweet. I think they sell for a couple grand now, though. Alright, let's get some votes in that straw poll, boys. I put it in the chat. Let's see what you guys think. I honestly, let me see what Man, I think on launch week, I'm in between the 5 mil and 10 mil mark. Call me crazy, man, but I really do think out of all the billions of people on the planet Earth, we can't get 5 mil to 10 mil of them to try out Classic WoW for the first couple weeks. I'm gonna vote 10 mil, man. Let's see what happens. Yeah, okay, I'm in the minority. That makes sense. I think, yeah, I was between 5 mil and 10 mil. It seems like 5 mil is winning. It's so hard to predict what the drop-off is gonna be. There's you know, undeniably gonna be a substantial drop-off. Classic is a punishing game if you haven't played it for a while and haven't been keeping up with the meta and all this, but I think we can kind of control that too, you know. Not to say that we want everyone to continue to play Classic and stuff, because some people the game's not just not for them, but if we're good WoW ambassadors and we help people out and show them the ropes and stuff and show them that probably community is most people's #1 reason of why Classic was so good, you know, the fixed communities, the fixed server communities. So if we can build strong server narratives and make it feel like the server has a story and that people have reputations and that people are helpful and, you know, and nice, but at the same time competitive, I believe that we can still, you know, have that spark that keeps people interested, even in 2019, man. Hard drop off. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say though. You know, it's hard to say exactly how much we're gonna see. I got 2 collector accounts of vanilla. Need my pets back. So do you have the Diablo pet? That was the reward, right? And there's a Zergling. There's a Zergling and a Diablo pet, I think. WoW ambassadors. I like that term.
5 mil at launch. Drop off will be huge. Modern gamers want instant gratification.
$5 from Astro Walker. Thank you for that, man. Thank you for the 5. Yeah, you might be right, man. You might be right, but you never know. Crazier stuff has happened, you know? Like, maybe this could be a catalyst and show the games industry that, and show some of the newer gamers that instant gratification isn't everything, you know? It's possible. I could be over-romanticizing it, but it's possible that this could have some sort of larger effect. You know, people play the game and it makes them realize, damn, I kind of like the pacing of content in this game a little bit more than the instant gratification kind of microtransactions I'm used to. You know, they kind of make you work for it. So we'll see. And I've said it before, I will say it again. I really feel the #1 way that Blizzard could market this game to the sleeper cells, to the moms and dads and people that haven't touched the game in forever, is simply just having different versions of the original cinematic. You don't need to sell people on nostalgia. You don't need to sell people, you know, and try and explain to them why the mechanics of the game were better or anything. You just got to show them that original cinematic. I still think it holds up, man. The only thing you would change is just World of Warcraft Classic at the end. Yo, what's up, big dog? Thanks for the stream, Majestic King, dude. You're welcome, man. No problem, man. I love hanging out with you guys. It's really the highlight of my day. I love it. Considering it's on the launcher that has 1 to 200 million accounts, that's a good point, man. That's a good point. Everyone who plays Hearthstone, everybody that plays Overwatch and all these games, they're going to see this little icon. It's going to say Classic WoW. Man, I wonder how many people we're going to see playing this thing. Oh, you get 1 pet for each character. That's interesting. So you, even with the collector's edition, they made you work for it. That's cool. Nothing better than grinding an epic gear set and just standing in town watching people come stand around you. Yeah, man. I don't know if that type of stuff will still hold up. Maybe it will. I mean, I'm looking forward to watching people ask about where Mandrake's wife is, you know, unironically for the first time and stuff like that. That'll happen again to a lesser capacity, but we're older now, we're wiser. I don't know if we can ever recreate the same awe that we once had, but the game is still super fun. Is it possible to get rank 14 from World PvP before BGs come out? It depends how long it is before Phase 3. Now, if it's like 3 months plus before we get Phase 3 and you got Bracket 1 every time and you were at the top of Bracket 1, it's probably possible to get rank 14 in 3 months. I think people have calculated this before. I think it probably takes like 3 months and change or something to get rank 14 from the start if you were to get Bracket 1 every week. So yeah, if Phase 3 was, you know, 4 months between Phase 2 and Phase 3, it's possible, yeah. It's possible. So I will talk about that real quick. So people have been... There's been some grievances out there, thrown out there. People saying that introducing these weapons in their fully like final form state during Phase 2, during the Dire Maul, is potentially a bad decision on Blizzard's part because these weapons are really strong. But what I would say to that is that a very, very small percentage of the player base are even going to get those things. And the grind is so real that they probably deserve it, man, if they're able to make that grind happen. The other thing is that when Naxxramas comes out and some of the gear in Naxxramas will invalidate a lot of the PvP gear and no longer have it be best in slot. And when that happens, you see a massive drop-off in organized pre-made PvP. You know, the PvP really dies down in Classic towards the tail end of Classic. So I'd say introducing them earlier extends the, you know, it extends the longevity of their viability. I do like that aspect of it. It makes them better for longer. And also, the main point I would say towards why I think I support Blizzard's decision overall of having Honor come out in Phase 2 as opposed to Phase 3 is, can you imagine if you were someone who's really into PvP in Classic WoW and not having any sort of real tangible reason or incentive to PvP all the way up until Blackwing Lair? You know, you can kill people for fun and do this or that, but there's no honor system, no rewards, no trinkets, none of that, all the way up until Blackwing Lair. It would seem crazy. So... only the top-end raiders are worried about the PvP weapons, yeah. Can you actually raid and grind rank 14 without falling behind? Yeah, I mean, yeah, you could raid, like... Yeah, you could do both. I mean, it'd be really, really try-hard, but you can do both. People have to remember that the blue PvP sets are really good in their Nax state, are really good in at least MC quality. What about Phase 2? Phase 2? Phase 2 is going to be awesome. I'm really, really excited for Phase 2. Phase 2, I'm excited for Phase 1 too, though. It's going to be cool to see what happens in a world where there is no dishonorable kills. Questing, you know, be warned, man, it could be really cancerous if people... All it takes is a couple, man. It would only take like maybe 5 people who are really dead set on just ruining the questing experience kind of to go out there and to just absolutely destroy all the quest givers out in Red Ridge and Westfall. It's gonna be it's going to be really interesting and fascinating to see what happens. But at the same time, what I would say is, you know, that's kind of the appeal to Classic at the same time. You know, it's a very punishing, harsh world. And if you don't want any part in that, you can roll on a normal server, a PvE server. So you still have some sort of recourse. It's not going to ruin the game, the fact that there's no dishonorable kills. Seinfeld, subscribe to Twitch Prime, dude. Welcome to the channel, dude. Thank you for the subscription. You are welcome here, man. Kargoz, can you make a grind route 1 to 60 map to level up? I mean, it's not like rocket science, man. Like, you can look at this little map here. You can see the general level ranges of the different zones. And, you know, if you're a melee class, like, you know, you might want to consider killing stuff a little bit lower with low armor.
Collector's Edition copy in stores 2 days before digital release to create that nostalgic release hysteria of going to the store and rushing home to get ahead of everyone else. D.
Thank you for the 5, Kurt. That'd be interesting, man. Like a physical thing. I don't think they're gonna do that just based on, you know, the level of communication and stuff. I do feel like Blizzard's kind of sleeping on it. I don't know what you guys think, but I feel that Blizzard might be underestimating Classic. At the same time, it's highly likely that you know, we might be overestimating the appeal of Classic and how successful Classic will be. But I do feel like Blizzard is kind of underestimating it a little bit. So we'll see what happens. Would I love that? I would absolutely love that. I would buy it, man. I'd put it up on the, you know, the shelf behind me and have that. Thanks for the support, man. Thanks for the donation. Do you have an Alliance side guild that's planning to play on the same server as Evictus? Nah, people have been asking me about that. Do you want to have an Alliance server too? I feel like that'd be kind of like a cringe fest, man. Like, that's kind of cross-faction collusion, you know? You have both a Horde and Alliance guild on the same server. I'm kind of excited that people would want to, you know, gank me and, you know, mess me up in STV and all this. Like, I kind of like it. I think that would kind of detract from the, you know, it's kind of selfish, but I think that would detract from my personal enjoyment of the game, you know? Hey, Infra, what's up, man? Welcome back, dude. Remember the Activision earning calls? Yep, they are underestimating Classic. I do remember that vividly, man. I was listening in. They said that there's no major release plan for this year. Didn't really mention Classic specifically. I think they're sleeping on it, man. We'll see what happens, though. Alliance all the way, dude. We are slightly more Horde in here, actually. Only like 2%. Isn't collusion part of the Devil Sword Mafia part of the game? It kind of is. That's kind of true, man. Like, there's really no way of getting around it at this point. In the era of Discord and just, you know, communicating on such efficient levels, is there really a way to stop cross-faction collusion? Like, really not. It kind of, for better or for worse, will be part of the game. Will mafias and cartels exist? I think they absolutely will exist. But, you know, that doesn't mean that you should officially support it. You know, that'd probably be my stance on it. They don't want to mention it so that there's a pleasant surprise to investors, but secretly they're banking on it? I hope so, yeah. I hope that there's some people, some old heads at Blizzard still that kind of realize the potential of Classic. And I think this could be a major win for them culturally. To show the games industry as a whole, like, Blizzard isn't totally out of touch. Like, we're still listening to people. Like, the past 3 weeks of Blizzard putting out these weekly posts have meant a lot to me. It's kind of restored a lot of my faith in Blizzard because they're talking our language, you know what I mean? Like, they're not putting out these weird, vague, ambiguous announcements. Like, they're just really providing valuable insights to the development and what decisions are being made. I appreciate that, man. And this is a potential way for Blizzard to reestablish some of that cultural bond and authenticity with some of its, you know, some of the gamers. We got another Twitch Prime sub, Rhymo Plays. Thank you, man. Thank you for the Twitch Prime. Welcome to the channel. Should we move on? Yeah, we should move on. Hey, that's a good call. I get caught up. So yeah, leveling route, guys. Let me see. Last thing, closing thoughts on leveling route. Don't get overwhelmed, guys. Go out there. Just Google the zones. Google like Classic WoW zones, and you can get a general sense of what quests are out there. Refamiliarize yourself with stuff. There's a big like psychological advantage you're gonna have if you go into the game feeling like you know where to go and what to do, and that you have multiple options, no matter what your level range is or whatever. All right. So the next thing I want to talk about is professions, planning your professions. This is more of a big deal than I anticipated a few months ago. A few months ago, I kind of, professions were off my radar. I was thinking, I pretty much just get skinning, and that's about it. I'll skin stuff, I'll vendor the skins. That's about it, you know? And from a solo leveling hunter perspective, I still see viability in that line. But dual leveling, like I mentioned before, and many times, I do feel that is the optimal line of play. I do think it's most efficient and most fun. And in a dual leveling environment, I think professions become a lot more valuable. You can potentially have synergistic professions that can really, boost your power level and get you stuff like your lesser and greater magic wands. That is not a meme. I mean, on a fresh server, being able to craft your lesser and greater magic wands early and aggressively is a massive advantage. It really is. And especially if you're duo leveling, you can do it really, really quickly because you can funnel all the cloth to one player who just can reach that breakpoint really easily and train lesser magic wand and be able to craft 2 very easily for both of you and greater. So I would say if you are duo leveling, particularly if you are duo leveling or group leveling, pay a little bit more mind to professions. Start thinking of different ways, unique ways these professions can synergize with each other. Another thing that I've been guilty of and something I kind of regret doing is I would vendor stuff like very lackadaisically. I would be killing boars or animals or humanoids, and I was almost, in my mind, I was like, ain't nobody got time for that. I'll just vendor whatever I need to vendor and just keep moving, keep moving. I'll make gold when I get to 60. But it really doesn't take too much time to just mail over whatever you are looting out in the open world that could be valuable later. Even stuff like just boar meat or scorpion meat or plain strider meat or any of this stuff. Just hang on to it because when you do need to do cooking or whatever, you can.
I'm officially retired. Art school starts June. Classic release soon. Let's celebrate. Mount Dr. OOD.
Dude, John C, man, that is awesome, dude. Congratulations on the retirement, man. Thanks for the $20, John. Good, really appreciate that, dude. Congrats on the retirement, man. You put that work in. Someday we'll get there. Gonna have all that time freed up for Classic, right? That's awesome, dude. All right. You look purple and epic, yeah, man. Like I said, I'm just blushing, just being around all this awesome Classic community. It's just got me all red in the face. Yeah, congrats, John. This is awesome, man. I love how we're all freaking. Oh my God, there's some more Twitch Prime subs. Booty Club, dude. Booty Club, booty Club. Subscribe to Twitch Prime. Almanac 225. Subscribe to Twitch Prime. Welcome, guys. Welcome to the channel. Thanks for giving me a shot. Appreciate your time. So yeah, that's it. That's really it with professions. Start thinking about it. You can start planning out how you're going to level up these professions. You can go right now to Classic DB, Wowhead, whatever. Search up these professions and find out what it takes to craft linen bags. What does it take to craft magic wands? What does it take to craft armor kits or the little sharpening stones? And start thinking about that stuff. What else are you going to do, right? We're planning for Classic. This is stuff. Refamiliarize yourself with this stuff. All right. Next thing is item progression. This is just this is a big one. It's a really big one. So it's not this doesn't only apply to melee physical damage dealers. Yes, it applies most to them, most likely, like warriors and rogues, for example. But you really want to go in. This is one of the biggest recommendations I have to you guys. One of the biggest takeaways is have a plan to consistently upgrade your weapons, right? And you want to value quest rewards, stuff that you can get 100% of the time, way more than a random drop chance. So you'd want to value, what is that thing that drops in Dead Mines that everyone loves? The Cruel Barb, right? Cruel Barb doesn't drop that often, dude. It's like 20%. You'd probably want to value Staff of Westfall potentially, or a one-hander. Sorry, I mean, it's a one-hander, right? Value a quest reward more than Cruel Barb because it may not be worth it to try and run Dead Mine unless you want to. If you want to, you enjoy it. By all means, knock yourself out, but have a plan, because this, more so than the gear you obtain, like a pair of greaves or spalders or chest piece or cloak, is going to move the needle a lot more. So the majority of your damage as like a melee damage dealer, for example, is going to be a combination of your weapon speed, of your weapon damage, your weapon speed, and how that interacts with your talents and abilities, and any buffs you have on you. The gear is kind of inconsequential. Not inconsequential, but it really doesn't make as much of an impact as a lot of people would expect. So, and even if you are, caster classes, if you're a priest, if you're a mage, if you're a warlock, wand progression is huge as well. The early wands, it's looking like we're going to get them in that final state, that buff state, in that 110 state. So have a plan to get those lesser and greater magic wands, because they will for sure change your rotation. For every class that has access to those wands, once you have access to those wands, your rotation will change in the early game. You can, it's for most classes, it'll just be like an instant cast followed by wands, or just a short little cast followed by wands, because it's just much more efficient to do so in the early levels. Gravestone Scepter, Whirlwind Axe, Crescent Staff. Another thing that was quite a nice revelation. Oh, real quick, Markowich subscribed with Twitch Prime. Welcome, my man. There's a lot of new faces in the stream today. Feels incredible, man. How easy, hard do you think it will be to find a group to do dungeons with if you push super hard? I don't think it'll be hard, man, and this is why. And hopefully by making little PSAs like this, it'll be a little bit easier. Good question, Alfer. So, even if you are going super hard, like complete poop sock, you plan on going 24 hours right out the bat. Imagine if you're a warrior shaman. This is one of the most clear-cut examples that comes to mind. Imagine you're playing a shaman, I'm playing a warrior. You're both really using staves. You don't have access to like axe specialization. So as a warrior, you're just getting your hands on whatever you can. That's going to have the best combination of top end and weapon speed. But the staff progression is quite good. So you're in the Barrens. You're completing a lot of these quests already, and Wailing Caverns is right next to you, right? And you can get a guaranteed Crescent Staff, this amazing 20.3 damage per weapon, DPS weapon, 2.9 speed. You can get this guaranteed by completing Leaders of the Fang. It is worth it, especially if you're duo leveling. The breakpoint towards making that line of play worth it for you is much lower because you're both getting this massive weapon increase and it's guaranteed. It's not a drop. So what I would say is I do think it actually is legitimately viable and optimal to do these dungeons if, I would say that probably duo leveling though is the breakpoint, because being like a tank healer, you're going to be able to have a lot of control of that group. You're in control of the two most important pain points of assuring that group success. But the people that you get into your group at that level, the people going super hard, I would probably find other people that are in the same boat that need these guaranteed quest rewards. So you just pick up another couple shamans or whatever, and you go knock out the dungeon really quick. And especially with something like Wailing Caverns, you don't have to go out of your way very much at all. It's already right there. So that's a real kind of clear example. Hey, Def Camp Melderon, what's up, dudes? What's up, brothers? Atticus, some good people in the house today. I hear I'm about to head out to a meeting, getting my daily dose of classic WoW while I can, dude. Feels good. Those are my brothers from another mother, man. The brothers from the city of brotherly love, as I call them. Def Camp and Mel, the homies. My guildies, my future guildies. I can't wait to play with these boys. Is it confirmed that we will get items in their 1.10 stages? I think it's all but confirmed. Yeah, they're saying that items that are introduced for the first time in 110 will continue to be reintroduced. Will continue to be introduced in 110, but stuff will be in their final form. Because I think from a user, a player perspective, having your items just change on you all of a sudden, it feels very strange. You know what I mean? Imagine you don't have a lot of experience with Classic, and one day you wake up and these white wands are green. Also, all the times that they changed stuff like that chess piece that drops in BRD, that Savage Gladiator, chainmail and stuff like that. I think it makes more sense, and it feels better, and it's more elegant of a solution to just have them roll out in their final form. This is by far the best music in vanilla. It's definitely quite soothing, man. If I tap out early in life, play this at my funeral, man. Reed Solheim, I love you, Kargoz, dude. I love you too, man. Thank you for the kind words. All right. Kargoz, love you, brother. Man, you guys are too kind. Too kind. So yeah, okay, item progression. Have a plan. Right now, we have ample time. Once Classic launches, guys, or once the release date is launched, once the beta is announced, anything like this, stuff is going to very quickly ramp up, and you're going to be in a position where you're going to struggle to find the time to do this research. So right now is a great time, man. Just grab a beer, pour a glass of vino, get some sodas, whatever it is, and just enjoy. Dig deep on the database. The database is out there, and just carve out your weapon progression. Make a nice little nifty PowerPoint like this. You're going to be thankful later, because if you rely on someone else's guide or something down the line, you're going to be kind of unfamiliar with it. You're not going to be able to understand it super well. But if you make the guide yourself right now, I feel like it's going to connect with you. The synapses are going to line up a lot better once launch actually comes. And what else are you going to do, man? There's no other games to play in the meantime for Classic, right? All right, next thing we're going to talk about is ability progression. Ability progression. Let me do a, yeah, Philadelphia. Yeah, Def Camp Meldon from Philly. Crackers and brie cheese, dude. All right, I'm going to give you guys a quick question. I want you guys to answer with gusto and enthusiasm. I'm going to grab another cold one out of the fridge. I need you guys to answer me this, though. What is the best snack to eat while playing Classic WoW? I need you to factor everything. I need you to min-max the snack game. I need you to min-max. I need you to think about the salt on your fingers. I need you to think about guacamole spilling on your keyboard. I need you to think about pistachio shells spraying all over the room and getting in your CPU fan. Think about all this. I want to hear the best snack while playing Classic WoW because I need this info. Be right back. I'm going to grab a beer. All right, let's see what you guys think here. Oh my god. Chili mango chicken tendies? God, dude, there's a lot of haggis. Oh, you guys are trolling, man. Nobody eats haggis while playing. A butt enema. That's a snack. Yeah, but I'm switching it up. We're not going with beer, actually. We're going with the Starbucks iced coffee. Not sponsored by Starbucks, by the way, but this is really, this is good. This is gamer fuel right here. Beef jerky. Oh, I love beef jerky. I love beef jerky, man. Favorite flavor of beef jerky? Teriyaki. All right, thank you for answering that question, boys. So the next thing is, what is chili mango? Why are you guys spamming chili mango? That sounds kind of strange. Lemon pepper wet wings. I love lemon pepper. I love me some wings too. Wings is probably, yeah, wings is probably the worst food to eat while playing WoW, though. Can you imagine playing WoW while eating chicken wings with a bunch of sauce on it? Say goodbye to your hardware, fam. All right. So ability progression. Most of you probably know what ability progression is. For those of you who don't, it's just planning out what abilities you're going to get and when you're going to get them. Which ones are essential? Which ones are going to boost your combat efficiency? And by combat efficiency, oftentimes that means, you know, regen. What's going to increase the rate at which you deal damage or regenerate resources. So stuff like intellect and stamina is only like useful to the point where like when you need to make use of them fully. But if you're never dipping to the point where you have no mana, or you're never dipping to the point where you're getting super low health, they don't really do that much for you. So consider this stuff, right? You know, you want to increase your damage or increase the rate at which you regenerate resources so you can get back into the fray. So every class is different. Like, for example, Warlocks. One thing I was just testing this morning with Warlocks. At least IMO and the way I play, I don't train anything to level 6 because you don't need that stuff. You just need Shadow Bolt and your Imp. You know what I mean? So it's going to save you time, because if you just buy every skill, first of all, you're going to go broke. These skills are no joke, man, especially if you're buying every Grimoire as a Warlock, if you're training every skill, especially with the hybrid classes, man. If you're playing like a Druid or a Pally or a Shaman or something, if you're training everything, your ass is going to be broke, man, for sure. So go just type in Type in classic WoW or vanilla WoW ability progression and whatever class you are, it'll come up. This site is vanilla WoW Wikia. There's some kind of mistakes on it, I have to say. It's not perfect, but it's pretty much the only thing I've seen that actually is out there. So that's one thing, just refresh yourself, brush yourself up on this stuff. What stuff do you really need at the certain level range? One thing I'd like to see too is how much this stuff costs, because even though they lay out the ability progression here, they're not showing how much. Oh no, it does. Okay, 1 silver. Okay. Yeah, that's good. It shows how much it costs. That's good. That's good stuff. Hey brother, where did you get the wall art for each of the WoW expansions? I actually made them, dude. Yeah, I actually made them. I just printed them out and found frames for them. It's not hard. You guys can do it, man. But yeah, that's how much I love this game, man. I did something weird like that. All right, rip keyboard. Yeah, absolutely. Play Warlock face roll and eat wings. That's one thing I'm looking forward to. Yes, the oh my god, dude, 2,000 bits, man. Holy crap, dude. Blaine TX, dude. You've been supporting the channel since the demo, Blaine. How many months ago was the demo, dude? That was... How many months was the demo, man? That was... Was that really 6 months ago? Damn, dude. Time flies when you're... flies when you're on that classic WoW lifestyle. Thank you for your continued support, my man. Nothing but love, dude, from Blaine, Texas over the months. Why not set your fireplace to a TV to an inn fireplace? That's what it is, dude. That's an inn. That's a dwarven tavern. I always put that on. Yeah. How many mini euros is 2,000 bits? Yeah, dude. I don't know, man. I don't know how the whole bit game works on Twitch, but that's good money though, man. I appreciate it. Classic soon, indeed. All right, let's go to another part of this soundtrack. This is a little slow. All right, let's do it. Get the hype up, man. Let's get this hype. Let's get this hype back. Let's go, boys. Let's go. Let's get this hype. Let's get it going. I'm feeling good. I'm caffeinating right now. I feel so much better when I caffeinate. Let's go. All right, ability progression, combat efficiency, push the limits, thread the needle, Tom Brady style, guys. You gotta be thinking about all this stuff. Next thing up, class quests. All right, every class has different class quests. Some are clunky, some are easy and natural to do, some are mandatory to do. Defensive stance quest, berserker stance, whirlwind is somewhat optional. If you're alliance, you can go straight bonebiter. Warlock is pretty mandatory, getting your void walker. Succubus is kind of on the fence for it, but when you see a lot of these leveling guides out there, they're not going to factor in the class quests. So figure out whatever class you're going to main. Figure out, you know, first of all, get a sense of what class quests you even have, which ones are actually worth doing, and figure out how you're going to slot them into your leveling, because some of them are kind of clunky, man. Like some of the Warlock ones tell you have to go all the way to the Barons, even if you're Alliance. You know, Whirlwind Axe, and also some of this stuff may seem really good, but then if you really look at it, you're going to realize you're going to need a group, right? So figure out which ones you're going to need a group for. Just be cognizant of your class quest, boys. Deathflow, subscribe with Twitch Prime. Welcome to the channel, my good friend, my good man. Standing under the shower right now, watching the stream. Standing under the shower? Dude, that's next level. How are you watching it? You have some waterproof iPad in your shower? Dude, I kind of want to do that. That sounds awesome. Anyone like this, though? Is anyone kind of, like, too addicted to screens? Sometimes I feel like I'm too addicted to screens, because, like, I always bring, like, my iPad around with me. I always feel like I have to be watching something. Man, that might be a problem someday, but I don't know. That sounds pretty dope, though. Alright, next thing up. You think I'm trolling. People don't like it when I talk about this IRL stuff, but I think it's funny to think about, man. Classic's coming, guys. Like, you're gonna need it. You're gonna have to eat. You're gonna have to drink. You're gonna have to sustain through the grind that is classic WoW leveling, my friends. You're gonna need some fire IRL consumables. Now, everyone's got a different poison, man. You know, everyone's got a different poison. Everyone's got different stuff that's, you know, that's available to them, that's legal to them. So, you know, pick your poisons, but make that investment now, man. Order a pallet of freaking quest bars now and all this. Stock up on Monster. Whatever you need to do. You got to get those IRL consumes. Chipotle, dude. I might order a bunch of Chipotle burritos just wrapped up for me, dude. Microwave 2 minutes, take them out, eat them, dude. That's good stuff. You'd be eating good and playing classic. My Kargoz. My regen is so high I don't need to eat. I envy you, my man. Some people are like that though. Some people like will legitimately just forget to eat. My buddy Jose is like that. He will sit down and play WoW and just have like no hunger. And I don't get it. And then he'll go like a day without eating, and then he'll go out and eat like 4,000 calories. Soggy micro burritos, classic style. Hell yeah, Gom Gom. You need those IRL consumes, man. Iced coffee and croissants. That sounds pretty classy right there. I love my croissants. K rations, dude. I actually, MREs aren't bad. I actually kind of like, I low-key like MREs, dude. I have a couple that I've just like saved. You know, in a pinch, they're pretty good. I'm gonna just have my wife make me food. Yeah, that's good. That's convenient, Kevin. That's convenient. All right. So I want to give you guys a little taste of what it would be like. The stuff that I'm thinking about, everything that goes into mind towards starting. Let's say Classic was launching today, and I'm about to log into the server. Let's go through the order of operations and stuff you have to think about, right? So I'm going to visualize it. I'm logging in right now. I'm hyped. The stream is on. We're about to start this adventure together. First thing you do, I would create a bank alt. Wouldn't even log into them. But I don't know exactly how Classic's going to work, because at least on private servers and stuff, you can create the character and never log into them, and you can still send them stuff in the mail. Don't know if that's going to work that way in Classic. So I'll probably make a character. Call it Kargoz Bank or whatever. Actually, first thing I'll do is I'll try and reserve my name. That's what you guys should do. That's the order of operations. Classic comes out. Go to the server you want. You know, you're facilitating with your guild. Get on the same page with them. You're probably all going to be in a big Discord call. Go to servers and reserve your name. That's what I would do. Then after the name is reserved, I would make a bank alt. I would log into it really quick and then just log back out. So now I have a bank alt. Quote was from Pure Pawnage, worth watching while waiting for Classic. Yeah, I actually saw that they mentioned WoW and Pure Pawnage. It seems like a funny show. Talking about Warlocks, no Hunter character in the corner. Did you make the switch? Nah, not yet, but I've been doing some Warlock work, man. I've been hitting the labs pretty hard, working on some Warlock stuff, which we're going to get into. Reserving as many Star Wars names as I can. That's probably smart. Then you can sell them to people later on. So first thing, right? Log into the game. You're with your team, your fam, your guild on Discord. You're all like, what server should we pick? What server should we pick? I would just be going to like as many servers as I can and just reserving the name. You know, that's what I would be doing, just in case you want to roll there in the future, something like that, right? Reserve all your names. Create a bank alt. I would log in because I'm not sure if it's going to work that way, the same way it does on private servers where you can just make it, never log in, and still mail stuff to it. I would log in for 1 second, then I would log back out. Now you have a bank alt. That stuff is going to sit in the mailbox for like weeks, right? So you're good. You're good. You can always funnel stuff over. Now I'm going to duo level, so everything I'm about to explain to you is going to be from the position of someone duo leveling. So we're going to log into the game. I don't think we're going to have add-ons, right? What do you guys think? We're going to have add-ons or no? I don't think we're going to have anything on launch. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start setting up the keybinds. I'm going to have a map of all my keybinds ready to go. Like I'll have all my Hunter or Warlock keybinds visualized, screenshotted right here. I will see where I put them all and where I put all the skills on. And I will quickly reset that up in this new environment because I don't think we're going to have add-ons or anything like that. You think we're going to have add-ons on launch day though? If we get a beta, all right, yeah, if we get a beta, we might have add-ons on launch. But if there's no beta, I'm not going to assume we're going to have add-ons on launch. And they could be buggy too, you never know. For somehow there are add-ons on launch, and if there are add-ons on launch, yeah, I'll try and set up the add-ons as soon as I log in. But either way, you're going to have to get your binds on point, get your racial on point, get it all. Everyone has their own system, right? It's very intimate how you set up key binds. Once the binds are on point, you start going, you start moving. I'm visualizing a sharded environment right now where there's probably 40 people in the starting zone. That's still a good amount of people. I don't think it's going to be like a barren, desolate starting zone. My gut tells me the starting zone will still feel somewhat populated because I think Blizzard wants to still give the person the perceived effect of having a pretty, you know, robust, vibrant zone. So I do think you're going to have to be... You're going to compete for some mobs and stuff, like killing Sarkoth. So, you know, What I would do probably if I was in Valley of the Trials is I would start making my way. I would get the boar quest, get all those initial quests. I would pick up the imp quest right away if I was a warlock. I would start killing boars, and I would start making my way over to Sarkoth. If I see Sarkoth there, if I see that whatever mob I need to kill, I'll pick up the quest there and I will adapt. I'll change my leveling path and I'll do Sarkoth immediately, because we're in this environment where I know there's going to be other people there that's going to help me kill Sarkoth, right? I wouldn't normally do Sarkoth right away. But if I'm on this sharded environment, there's 40 people there, and I see he's untagged, I'm gonna go get that tag, right? But if he's not, if it's chill or if he's dead or something like that, I'm gonna go complete the imp quest first. I'm gonna go kill level 1 boars. I'm gonna target specifically the level 1 boars, because level 2 is gonna be substantially harder to kill. They're probably gonna take like 4 or 5 shadow bolts as opposed to 3. Get the imp quest done immediately. Proceed through the Valley of Trials normally. Leave out the Valley of Trials. Leave out the Valley of Trials and link up with my dual leveling partner, right? And I'm not going to train anything till level 6 if I'm a warlock. So then you get out into the first zone. So this could be Elwyn Forest. This could be Duratar. I don't know for sure if this is going to be sharded, but I'm going to assume that it's going to be sharded, right? It seems like they wouldn't just do it for the very starting zones. That's what I would prefer. I would like, if there's any sort of sharding at all, I would like it to be just in the starting area. But it seems like they're going to do it for Elwyn and Duratar. So if you're quick with it, there's a chance that you walk out into Duratar and everything's available to you, or the vast majority of things, and that your shard is only like 50 people in it. Now, if that's the case, you can just... I'm hoping that's the case. I don't know, man. I think that's going to be the case. If that's the case, you can just proceed on your leveling path per normal. Everything that you planned out. I feel like you're going to be in good shape, being able to knock everything out just how you planned it. But if it is a clusterfuck for some reason, you might have to adapt it, is what I'm saying. Sarkoth drops light hides if you skin him and helps to respawn him faster. Oh, interesting. But you can't get skinning until you're 5. That's the thing. You need to get professions. You need to be level 5. I think you can go into your WoW folders on retail or any private server folder and straight up copy what's inside your keybind document and paste it into the fresh classic folder and have all your keybinds. Okay, that would be a power play, Neko. That's a good piece of feedback right there. So. Okay. That's something to think about. What is it, a text file or something like that? Is that why? I'm not sure how that all works, but that's a really worthy consideration. That's going to save you a couple minutes, which is huge, dude. Trying to get ahead of the pack, man. A couple minutes could be make or break. All right, so once I make my way out into Duratar, or let's say it's Elwyn Forest, some quests are going to be better to do as a duo. You're going to be accelerated on them. Some quests are going to be able to do... You're going to be better off solo. So you're gonna pretty much decide on a case-by-case basis how you're gonna knock them all out, and you're gonna proceed, you know, per normal. So that's all I really got for the very starting zones. If you have any questions about this stuff, you can ask stuff with as much specificity as you would like, and I probably have some kind of answer for you, because I've really thought my 1 to 30 is complete right now. I can execute my 1 to 30 just completely muscle memory at this point. Hey Lester, what's up, big dog? It's in the WTF file, but you think are you gonna be able to drop that into like the real official classic, you know, WoW folder? Do you think it works in the same way? I don't know. Maybe the technology has changed or something in how they deal with keybinds. That's a power play though. If that's gonna work, that's a power play. Level 5 is 25 minutes in classic, not 10. Yeah, no, that's for sure. Yeah, absolutely. If you can get the starting zone done in 30 minutes. You're in good shape. I think the sharding is a good thing, honestly, after the first 2 zones take it off. Yeah, they can't have sharding in the Barrens, dude. With that said, though, how crazy is it going to be? What if you're in Duratar and it's pretty chill, and then you cross that bridge into the Barrens, and the world just explodes, and you have hundreds of people around you? I don't think it'll be like that, though, thinking about it, because if we only have 2.5 to 3K servers, or even, let's say, 4 or 5K, that's not how it looks on, yeah, I think it'll be okay, thinking about it. I don't think it's going to be too crazy. Kargoz, how do you make your slideshow presentations? I have a college project due in a couple weeks where I have to do something similar. You just use Google Slides, man. Google Slides is good stuff. What class will you be rolling? What goals do you have in the game? Good question, Mitsu. It's gonna be Hunter or it's gonna be Warlock. I'm still undecided right now, but it's something that I hope the choice becomes clearer to me as we get closer to launch. My goals for the game. I want to start the best guild ever with my friends, man. Pretty much. Like, I can't wait to go to sleep at night and there's awesome conversations in the Discord. People are laughing, joking around, getting really close, I want to build friendships that transcend Classic WoW. That's one of the goals I have. Really, with any hobby you have, you know what I mean? You hope to build relationships that are going to transcend, you know, this common interest or whatever. So I hope to build this awesome guild together, and I want to kill freaking Kel'Thuzad with my boys. That's what I want to do. I've never set foot into vanilla Nax. I'm a Nax virgin, as some might say, in vanilla. So that's a big goal for me. I'd like to get at least rank 10 in PvP. But ultimately, I guess a goal would be to try and have some impact and make Classic a successful game with a, you know, a healthy, good community. Do you have a 1 to 60 played goal? Yeah, we talked about this earlier in the stream, and I can go back to it for a second. So I'm hoping to get to 60 in the first week. I'm going to go 24-hour stream on day 1, 6 off, 18 on, 6 off, 18 on, 8 off, 16 on, so on and so forth for the rest of the week. So that's going to net out to 5.16 days played. So you have a little bit of wiggle room there. I'm hoping to get to 60 before this, but we have a little bit of flexibility here. Good question. Let me drop you a hella geared character on LB so you can Nax LOL. Damn, dude, that'd actually be kind of sick. Oh, man. All I want PvP-wise at start is rank 3 for cheaper mountain vendor. They're not going to have that, though. That's the thing, man. It's going to be phase 1. So the way that they structured it, ACS, is there's not going to be any honor system whatsoever on launch. It's going to be in phase 2 that they roll out the honor system, which is going to be Dire Maul, which will likely be 2-3 months after launch. Yeah, probably 2-3 months, right? So you're not going to be able to get the mount discount. And the ganking will hopefully be a little bit less savage. It'll probably be less savage up to 60, and then once the first wave of people get to 60, and they have nothing better to do, really, because a lot of their guild is still catching up and still trying to get to 60, they might go back and just start annihilating the quest givers because there's no DHKs. It's going to be an interesting era. Can you go over gold farming abilities and spots for Warlock, also compared to Mage? Would be very cool to know what's best spots for Warlock to farm and get income. Yeah, so, I mean, I know that Warlocks can do Maraudon. You need an Invis pot. I think lesser Invis pot's fine. You can do Maraudon, that's one way. You can also go to, like, you know, farm the Fellcloth. You know, all the main cast stuff. There's tailoring ways. You can sell Runecloth bags. That's another good way for Warlocks to make money. Mages probably have an edge over Warlocks when it comes to income and making money. They can do stuff like BRD runs. And once Dire Maul comes out, they can start doing Dire Maul runs. If it's red, it's dead. It's going to be an era, man. Even phase 1 is going to be an era. We'll see how human nature plans out. I have a feeling that there's going to be some of the... Oh, man. Local defense is going to be popping, though, guys. It's going to be popping. I'm envisioning it right now. Like, the farmer Saldean keeps getting killed by freaking undead rogues, and the local defense is lighting up, and people are trying to call 60s in to help. It's going to be crazy. I see a lot of advantage towards getting to 60 as fast as possible, man. Kargoz Gaming, the Warlock mount quest at 40 is difficult. No, it's not difficult. I'm pretty sure you just talk to like 2 people, right? I don't have to do anything crazy. The level 61, though, requires Dire Maul and some gold and some little bit of help, potentially. Horde, where you at, dude? Horde's right here, Mitsu. WoW Classic Stream brought to you by the refreshing cold brew coffee nitro brew taste of Starbucks, the world's premium coffee roasters. Alright. If you level a warrior, which is more beneficial, dual gathering or gathering plus crafting to level? I mean, it depends on a lot of things, man. If you're solo leveling, if you're dual leveling, if you're just solo leveling out in the world as a warrior, first of all, Godspeed. Good luck to you, sir. I hope you make it. I hope you make it. I really do. The odds are stacked against you. Godspeed, sir. If you're solo warrior out in the world, I would get skinning to supplement, you know, the grind. And you might want to consider getting, like, mining or something like that. But I'd really just focus on keeping that first aid topped up and keeping skinning topped up. Yo, mages can't do BRD because BRD mobs will have nets and you can't AoE. It's not like on private servers. No, that's the thing, man. I think that they changed it kind of on private servers, right? A lot of people have a suspicion. I was talking to North yesterday on stream where he was saying that it's highly possible that BRD in Classic won't have as many... Well, the guys who throw the nets will have different placement and you'll be able to do it. We'll see how it plays out, though. Good feedback, though. Skinning and enchanting is what I'm going. Yeah, skinning and enchanting is a hell of a combo. I made a whole video on this, actually. You can make an alt that has tailoring and leatherworking, and then you can go skinning and enchanting on your main and funnel all the skins and cloth to your alt, have them craft the greens that you can disenchant, and you can pretty much level and power level your enchanting and skinning as you level up. By the time you get 60, you'll have, you know, quite a bit of progress into your enchanting. You'll be able to disenchant stuff as you go about doing your pre-best grinds in the dungeons, disenchanting those blues and greens. No, the nets are blizz-like. You can check the mob's classic Wowhead page. No, I'm not talking about if there are nets infra. It's the placement of the net people, right? I think that was the point of the pain point, right? Correct me if I'm wrong here. There's a video from 2006 showing that the dwarf indeed has nets, and they are placed at the same place they are in Light's Hope. Okay, so you're saying as far as placement, they're the same? Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I've never done that grind myself, so it could totally be like that. Kargoz, we have been discussing a lot on the Mage Discord. The BRD top arena farm is not possible. Gunmen and casters, I confirm it's impossible. Okay, feels bad, man. Maybe feels good, man, because I'm not playing Mage. But thanks for that feedback, Kustis. So yeah, Infra seems like he's on the page, same page. What goes best with engineering? I don't know, man. I mean, mining, I guess, if you're gonna go level it all yourself, but man, it feels bad going back into the world and just leveling the professions, leveling the gathering professions from scratch. Why not simply tailoring and enchanting as a warlock from the start? Yeah, you could totally do that as well. Well, so if you were trying to rush the lesser wand as fast as possible, then yeah, absolutely. Which could be a totally valid line of play. If you're just trying to get that lesser as fast as possible and you're solo leveling, yeah, man, just get enchanting, get tailoring, get 58 linen cloth. Sometimes you need 60. And just get that lesser magic wand. I think where you really make your money, though, as far as getting skinning and enchanting on your main and those on your alt or on your dual leveling partner, is in the long run. You'll probably get greater magic wand faster because you'll have more greens to disenchant. And then in the long run, as you go do all those quests out in the open world, all those greens that you get, you can disenchant and turn them into something valuable. All the skins that you get, you can turn into something valuable. All the cloth you get, you can turn into something valuable. And Warlock's a class that isn't like super gold sensitive, you know what I mean? Like you can still perform at a pretty high level without a bunch of gear. So it's not like you know, like a warrior or a rogue or something that may be a little bit more sensitive towards having like really relevant gear. I'll be a mage doing mostly PvP. So if engineering, mining worth it, yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, engineering is pretty much the only profession that actually does something and interacts with the world in some sort of proactive way. So, you know, engineering is, you know, if you're really at that super try hard level, it's pretty much mandatory in both PvE and PvP. Engineering mining would be totally good, yeah. I joined late. Will this be going on YouTube as a video? No, but you can watch it here on Twitch, man. Yeah, oh yeah, you answered him, Zog. Cool. I paused in on a screenshot, but I just want to remind everyone you are a noob if you roll Orc Troll and don't immediately run to Tauren's starting area. Why do you say that? I'm curious, man. Okay, so on a private server, you know, on a private server launch, there's definitely some validity to what you say. Valley of Trials is orders of magnitude more populated than the Tauren area. That's a big reason why those druids get a big head start and start to snowball on these private servers, because Mulgore is so chill compared to Valley of the Trials. So I feel you there. Maybe you could do the Ratchet run, you could do something like that. But if we're operating in a sharded environment where you only have like 40, 50 people in your shard, and that shard's going to dissipate as you enter into the Barrens, from both Mulgore or Durotar, you're operating in the same level of people in that zone, right? And I would say the Valley of Trials actually is a more efficient route than the Mulgore route. Mulgore is a lot of kind of inefficient running abouts going to and fro. You get level 2 and the FP on the flight path on the way. Yeah, Alexander, yeah, a lot of people over advocating for the Ratchet run. People saying, I mean, okay, let me put it this way. Come real classic, I will go up the hidden path real quick and I'll check to see if there's a box there. If there's a weapon crate, I'll jump down and get it. It's absolutely worth it. But if there's no weapon crate, I won't jump down. And if there is a weapon crate, I'm just going to drown myself and come back to the starting zone. Some people were basically thinking about going to Ratchet, picking up the flight path, going to Crossroads, picking up the flight path, then hearthing back so that when you eventually have to make that transition from Durotar to the Barrens to continue questing, you don't have to do that long-ass walk, right? But here's the thing. There's a lot of turn-in quests that are super good and give a lot of XP at that Farwatch outpost that right between the Barrens and Durotar. you turn in that Demon Seed quest thing, Akaloth or Axoloth or whatever. There's also the Conscript to the Horde quest. There's a couple quests there. So you're missing all that. You'd have to go back anyway. So I don't think it's worth it to do the Ratchet run-in to go get the Crossroads flight path. Kargo's got a hot nurse in Blood Elf cosplay to hook up. My IV on call, ready for launch. THC, dude. Force Ghost in the house. What's up, man? Good to hear. Good to hear. You can run over to Thunderbluff for the CR run, too. You're saying if you were to keep going to Thunderbluff all the way? Yeah, maybe. I mean, you could have a few deaths in there. It'd be a gamble, man. I mean, if you ran all the way to Thunderbluff, it could potentially pay for itself in the long run. I'd have to think about it, but you're setting yourself back precious minutes as far as the people that are just starting out in the starting zone right there. Looking forward to a long-ass walk to Torrent to Valley of Trials to start the game. One thing I will say, though, so it's a good point. This is something I want to maybe do a video on sometime. Okay, if you plan on learning professions while leveling, what is the best moment to go get them? Level 5? So it depends, F-Brother. Like, some professions are not available. Like, for example, cooking, and I think even skinning and stuff, that isn't available at Razor Hill, right? So, and some stuff isn't available at Goldshire. So once you get out of that starting zone, you're not going to have those professions available. So oftentimes, you're going to be picking these things up at, like, level 10, or when you first make it to the city. So it's really like opportunistically. I'd say as soon as if you know what professions you want, just pick them up as soon as possible. It's like a silver, dude. Like, it's not even a lot of money. As soon as you have access to those profession vendors or, NPCs, go pick up those professions. Would you be going for the My First Wand guide and get skinning, tailoring? Yes, no, I'm going to dual level, man, and I'm going to, if I go Warlock, I'm going to be going 2 Warlocks, duo Warlock, and one of us is going to go enchanting, tailoring, the other one's going to go leatherworking, skinning, and pretty much we're gonna funnel. You're killing stuff a lot more rapidly as while you're duo leveling. You have to compensate for the XP split, right? It's a 50-50 XP split, so you're killing more stuff to compensate for that. So you're getting more cloth. So if you funnel that cloth over to one person, they're able to craft those wands even faster. So I'm going to absolutely craft Lesser Magic wands for the both of us. Double Warlock. We're gonna get into it. Probably. It's actually the nuts. It's so sick. All right, we can get into that right now. So I actually have another little PowerPoint for this, guys. All right, if you're half awake right now, do me a solid and wake up for a second. Grab a beer, splash some water in your face. This is some interesting theory craft right here I want to share with you guys. This is something that came to mind. And first of all, let me state, I love that this game is still surprising me with cool stuff in 2019. On April 15th, 2019, yesterday, I learned some new stuff. And I love how this game is still able to do that after all these years. So I'm gonna clear my mind and kind of reset, take a breath, and try and explain this. Okay. If you just run out the side of Ratchet, there's a cooking vendor you can learn cooking at. Dude, that is actually sick, Pogren. There's a cooking vendor in Ratchet. Maybe it's not, though, because you might not want to cook until you have the amount of mats you need anyway. It's something cool to consider, but pretty much, what are you going to cook? You're going to cook the boar meat, right? You're not going to have a lot of boar meat at that point, and pretty much there's a way to do it where you can get all 53 boar meat that you need, so that when you go to Orgrimmar and do that big pass in Orgrimmar, you can just cook them all up right there at the fire. So there's not really a urgent need to cook up that boar meat unless you're able to get Scorpion Surprise, because that's the first kind of valuable cooking thing that's going to give you a disproportionately high amount of regen once you can cook Scorpion Surprise. But to get Scorpion Surprise, you have to go to Orgrimmar and get to buy it from a vendor. All right, so pretty much this is what I'm explaining to you guys. Duo leveling as 2 locks. It may sound a little bit wonky at first glance, but let me explain what it nets out to in final form. Okay, I want to make sure people are alive. Yo, can you say something, chat? Say something if you guys are alive. If you guys, just to confirm that you're not bots, because I do think this is kind of juicy right now. I really want to get this message across to some people and get some feedback in here. If you're alive, yeah, Rain, I called you. I was in a panic, right? Iron, I was like, dude, what? Dude, we broke the game, dude. What? All right. So, okay, we got some people in here. People are alive. Good shit. Thank you. All right, sometimes I feel like I talk to myself. All right. Thank you for showing me that you're alive. All right, so check it out. Double Warlock. This is some good shit. Pretty much, you're going to be going this build that allows you to profit from regen outside of the 5-second rule at all times. And you're going double Warlock, and both of you aren't using your pets. Let me stop right there so people can rage at me and call me a noob. You're going double Warlock, and you're not using your pets. Both of you are not using your pets. Your pet is a Duracell battery. That's all I'll say right now. I'll pause for a second. Okay, $5, Star Squid. Thank you for the $5, man. What are your thoughts on alchemy and herbalism for leveling? I think it's fantastic. Alchemy and herbalism, you can't go wrong with alchemy. Alchemy is, you know, tried and true, man. All right. So, Lock Pally is better than 2 locks. In a certain line, I think Lock Pally is god tier. I really do think it's probably my favorite duo leveling composition overall.
What are your thoughts on alchemy and herbalism for leveling?
But this double lock stuff is insane, guys. Okay. So this is what it comes down to. You can only start doing this precise strat at 40. This is the earliest you can do this exact type of strat that I'm referring to. Before it, you can still do different lines of play. You're still going to be leveling super efficiently. You have double Void Walkers, and you can cycle. You know, one Void Walker can taunt on cooldown while the other one regens its mana, and then you go back and forth, and you can. It's going to still be super hyper efficient. You have multiple ranks of Hellstone, double wipe prevention, free mounts at 40. Like, the list goes on and on. Double lock is sick. But this is where it really gets to the nuts. So double lock gets to the nuts when this happens. You go down deep enough in the affliction tree to get dark pack. So this is what you look like at 40. Hold on. You take one out of. Can I take one out of this? Can't. Okay. Yeah, this is what I would do. Something like this. All right. So one warlock's job. There's 2 warlocks, right? Warlock 1, their job is to apply Curse of Exhaustion to every target. So this is going to open up an infinite value loop right there. Why does it open up an infinite value loop? Because you move faster than the target that's Curse of Exhaustion. So 10% plus another 20% is 30%. So you move faster than the 30% speed reduction, therefore it's almost an infinite value loop right there. Also, on a Blizz-like classic server, the mob is not going to leash back like it does on private servers. So one Warlock is on Curse of Exhaustion duty. The other Warlock is on Curse of Agony duty. You both have Imps out, because Imps have insane regen. They have a ridiculous amount of spirit. They're both phase shifted, and they're just chilling there. And they regen like a friggin' Duracell battery. And you just run around the world, just throwing up dots. Every global is super impactful, and you almost have 2 life taps. You struggle to use your mana fast enough because you have Dark Pact and you have Life Tap, and your Imp just regens so fast that you're just throwing up globals as you move. You're questing totally naturally. You're throwing up Agony, Corruption, Siphon Life. You can weave in an Immolate if you need to. Drain Life. If the guy's chasing your other guy and you need life or whatever, so you can Drain Life it. And this is a real game changer. It invalidates a lot of talent, so you actually don't need Improved Drain Soul. Let me redo the spec, actually. This was the spec. We actually went Improved Drain Life. Another thing that it really does, which is awesome, is it opens up the... Alright, I might have messed this up, but you get the point. You don't get Improved Drain Soul, you're going to get Improved Drain Life. Even though it's just a marginal benefit, it's still better than nothing because you're not using Improved Drain Soul. You have an ample amount of resources. You have too many resources. Mobs run faster than you. I understand that, but you're putting Curse of Exhaustion on them, dude. They're 30% reduced. They will never break leash because they have dots on them. They're just chasing you around forever. They're slowed indefinitely. You have infinite resources because your pet is outside the 5-second rule. He's just chilling there like a little Duracell battery. And you just Dark Pact and just get mana, Life Tap if you need it, and you're just constantly throwing up dots, and you're just moving from point A to point B. And here's the crazy part. Imp Drain Life is kind of trash, Chris. Agreed. But it's better than these other talents that do nothing, dude. Like, nothing else is really benefiting you that much. This is the crazy thing, too, though. So Nightfall. I've talked about Nightfall before and how it feels clunky. When you're solo leveling as a Warlock, Nightfall feels clunky because, yes, it's nice having an instant cast Shadow Bolt, but it interrupts your 5-second regen. So it's not free as well, and it also interrupts your 5-second regen, and you can't control when it procs, and it's often used as a finisher. And the other thing about Shadow Bolt, it's going to rip thread off your Voidwalker. But with this strat, your pet's not tanking. You have ample resources. You can make use of every single Nightfall proc. It is the nuts, man. It is the absolute nuts. Duracell battery, yes, this is like the Duracell battery build, and you just have infinite resources. We've never done a duo leveling combination. Shout out to my man Navik, by the way, if he's watching. He pretty much like inspired this whole build. But out of all the duo leveling we've tried every single duo leveling combination. Maybe not every, I don't want to say every, but we've done all the classes, obviously, in the class combinations. There's different play styles and different ways you can obtain the talents. But we've never come across another duo leveling class combination that had this many resources. We're very frugal-minded when it comes to grinding and mob-to-mob combat efficiency. We've never seen one with such a plethora of resources. And here's the crazy thing, too. It was most advantageous to put the other Warlock on follow so that you could move. You can think about it this way. When you put the Warlock on follow, it's like having a speed bonus because you're not fucking around. Like, one Warlock isn't off track and you're not waiting for your partner to catch up. You literally put him on follow, and there's really no downside to putting him on follow because everything you're throwing up is an instant cast, aside from Death Coil. If you have Death Coil, then you need to face the target. But other than that, you're just pain train. He called it the AIDS train. Is it... This is the AIDS train, dude. This is the AIDS train. You're running around with AIDS train. One guy's following the other guy, and you're just throwing up instants on him. So you're saying this isn't new, Shelby, but have you done this thing where your pet is outside the 5-second rule, not casting Firebolt, not casting anything, sitting there in phase shift like a Duracell battery? I've never seen anyone in my life play Warlocks like this. Duo Warlock is already a rare thing to begin with, and to see him played like this is just insane, and it felt so good. It felt so good. All right. Hey, Kargoz, decided yet whether you're going to go Hunter or Warlock? I haven't decided yet, man. I'm still on the fence, but I'm still hitting the labs hard, trying to figure out some new stuff. New Warlock meta. Dark Pack sucks. It actually doesn't suck, Dives, dude. It doesn't, man. Try it. The Imp regens so fast. He's outside the 5-second rule, and there's no cooldown on Dark Pack. You're able to just freely convert his mana. He regens in like huge chunks, dude. It feels incredible to play this duo leveling comp, and it sacrifices no movement speed loss. Like, you literally just have the guy on follow. You're throwing up dots together. You're not getting hit really because they're just slowed more than you are. It's slower than your own movement speed. It's called Mana Battery. Yeah, I mean, I've seen Dark Pack builds before, don't get me wrong. I've seen these Dark Pack builds where people drain tank and they use Dark Pack and they use their Imp. But I've never in my life, on God, seen people walk around with their Imps on passive in phase shift doing nothing outside the 5-second rule. A lot of people don't even realize that the pets function in the same way that you do. That as soon as they use an ability, it puts their regen on that 5-second cooldown, right? So this is pretty much the #1 reason why you don't want to taunt on cooldown with your Voidwalker. You want to tactically taunt, because if you just have it on auto cast, he's just going to be casting periodically, and he's never going to be able to regen that mana. So. Yeah, I'm here, Truzian. I'm listening to you, man. Are those WoW boxes on your wall or like printed posters of the boxes? Those are printed posters just framed up in the back, man. Yeah. Printed posters, my man. Does using Life Tap put the Imp into combat? No, it does not. Life Tap doesn't affect your Imp at all. 5-second rule is only triggered by using mana. So Life Tap doesn't use mana, it uses health. It doesn't affect your 5-second rule. You can just tap freely. How does Kargoz show vanilla WoW environments and videos? Is some realm available to use? I don't. I just have these PowerPoints for now until we can show gameplay footage, man. Kargoz, you going to be on the coffee train or the Red Bull train? I'm going to be on both trains, baby. I'm going to mix the coffee with the Red Bull, with some Coors Light, mix it up into a big concoction, and it's going to be world buff. No, that sounds gross. But, you know, I switch it up, man. I like coffee. I like Red Bull. I like to stay caffeinated. Shelby has been doing it since 03? For real? In this same sense, please show me some footage of someone doing it like that. I've never seen it like this. On the exact limit. So you're saying double Warlock AIDS train with passive Imps. Okay, man, I'll take your word for it, Shelby. If you could message me that on Discord, I would sincerely appreciate it, dude, because I've never seen something quite in this same vein. Okay. Why isn't there an official classic website by Blizzard or release date not just coming this summer? I think we're all asking the same question next to this, but we're moving in the right direction, my man. Like, they're giving us updates every week. And they're actual, like, tangible updates with real, you know, valuable information in them. So I think we're moving in the right direction. I think we're going to get a release date real soon. DevCamp told you that you like Gnome Rogues. Gnome Rogues are my arch nemesis, man. Don't mix uppers and downers, brother. Oh, Caligula, what's up, dude? What's up? How do you think WoW Classic will end? What is going to happen once it's been 2 years in a WoW Classic? That's a good question, man. What do you guys think is going to happen? After 2 years, 3 years, I think we're going to reach a crossroads. Horizontal content, where you make more content in the classic WoW environment. First of all, I don't think Blizzard's going to do that. I think what they said before, it's not their code to touch. I think I think they are still wise enough to realize that like there's a real like sentimental and historic value with Classic WoW. You don't want to muddy the waters and turn it into some Frankenstein. A lot of people do want it, the horizontal content, or they're going to move into TBC legacy servers. What I would say the future of Classic WoW is what I believe to be the longevity of Classic WoW is going to be PvP. There's only so many times that you can beat the robot and beat the machine. Maybe not even that though, because you could keep releasing fresh servers and continue to gamify and make it more challenging with different rule sets. It's all about repeatable content to really have that longevity factor. So PvE could have legs as well, but I think with the most likely avenue of sustained content and longevity with Classic WoW, it's going to be related to PvP. I think PvP in Classic WoW is slept on. It's really fun to watch. The different trinkets and items and consumables and having how they all interact with each other, and the idea of like, you know, duel tournaments and BGs with the flags and watching Goblin rocket helms and all this cool stuff, FAPs and LAPs and FIPs and all this stuff. I think it's going to be the future of Classic WoW. PvP is always endgame in any game. Absolutely. Well said. You look at all the most successful esports and stuff, they have this repeatable PvP style of content. You know, that's what really excites people at their essence. You know, humans engaged in competition against other humans. Mythic Nax, without Arena, I doubt PvP will last for a super long time. I hate that Arena's not in it. I don't know, man. So Vanilla WoW is a sandbox. It gives us all the tools as a community to do whatever we want with it, right? So we can make leagues, we can make dueling tournaments, we can do fun events in Gurubashi Arena. We can create the PvP infrastructure that is lacking baked into the game. We can create that ourselves as a community. And I think that, you know, we will do that. I will try and do that, you know, myself. Yo, Kargoz, will you do an add-on setup video ever? We're going to have to understand what add-ons are available. I mean, I assume all the add-ons that we have on, you know, private servers are going to be there as well. But yeah, I can do that eventually, man. I think we just need to, I'll cross that bridge once we get there. My buddy pretty much never trains any skills except Aspect of the Cheetah and a select few, and skips 40 mount and grinds nonstop, and is always first 50 to get max level. 50 to get max 60? What's his name, man? I might have heard of him. That's cool though. What does he play, Hunter? Yeah, TBC with an option to X for your character, giving Blizz $25 per extra would be a good moneymaker. It'd be a good moneymaker, yeah, absolutely, man. I like the idea though, and this could be selfish. You know, tell me if this is selfish, guys. This could be selfish. I'm open-minded to that. But one of the big appeals to me of Classic is that you can kind of beat the game in a sense, you know, in one light, in one respect. Like, the gear that you earn and put that blood, sweat, and tears for is gonna stay with you indefinitely. You know, the game ain't changing, you know what I mean? And they can always release new, fresh servers that you can redo the experience on. But on the servers that you do have that gear, that character is kind of immortalized. That's a big appeal to me. We've never seen that ever before in any World of Warcraft environment. There's always the next big expansion. There's always the next content patch. There's always the next raid tier that's going to partially or fully invalidate your gear. So this is something that excites me. It's something that makes me want to raid more than I probably otherwise would. Arena with all items and trinkets being viable will shake Yo Classic meta. I mean, they could create like a PvP server, like, you know, a PTR or something where you could, where Blizzard would, you know, if they got on board with the whole idea of Classic WoW PvP, they could create something like that really easily and, you know, have a really, I think the key though, with all WoW PvP, I think the main thing that's held WoW back as an esport and like, you know, with regard to viewership and all that is the viewership experience. It often feels like a clusterfuck of colors. It feels like, you know, just some crazy kind of like seizure of colors, like sensory overload. It's hard to appreciate like the different lines of play and all this. So I think that'd be really crucial, a nice visually appealing, clean viewer experience. And I think that Classic WoW can provide that in a battleground setting. Like, anyone can relate, just like football or soccer, by seeing the flag or the ball move up and down between midfield and the two bases. You know, people can, even my mom, I could tell my mom right now, hey mom, watch this. Look, there's a flag in the middle. They're trying to get the flag over here. These guys over here in the blue, they're trying to get the flag over there. And she could, you know, somewhat make sense of it, you know? I think Vanilla Arena wouldn't be successful because classes aren't balanced for that. But I'm telling you, man, it's not black and white, or less so than with other iterations of WoW. The items, the consumables, the trinkets, everything, the trinket swapping, the different, there's so much that goes into it, man. Like, they, and all these things combined, you can only wear 2 trinkets. Some classes are able to trinket swap, some can't, and you're just stuck with whatever you're equipped with. So, There's win conditions against any class really, like in PvP. If you just are geared appropriately, you get the right set of conditions. Hopefully over time they add new zones long after Nax, so you're thinking horizontal content. A lot of people did want that, man. I was really surprised by the amount of people that want horizontal content. We did a straw poll the other day. Let's do it again. Let's do it again. I don't want to sway anyone, but if you want horizontal content in Classic WoW, we're going to drop a straw poll in the chat. So horizontal content is in 3 years. The year is 2022. And Blizzard is on the fence of what to do next. And we can either get TBC, legacy servers, and classic servers will still continue to be a thing. We can either get TBC
Kargoz,
servers
I have
or
a
horizontal
friend that
content.
loves Prot Warrior but wants to PvP. Could you show me what a Prot Warrior PvP spec would look like?
Hey,
Just theory crafting.
Hey, Cozy, thanks for the $5, man. So he wants to play Prot Warrior. I mean, if he wants to play Prot Warrior, I'd strongly consider going Orc, man, because we've been over this past couple weeks, but the stun resist is additive, so it really just does add up. It's pretty broken in vanilla. It's not like adding a percentage to your base stun resist. It really is additive. So what some Orc warriors do in particular, I mean, you could do it with any other race as well, is they go down to Prot just to pick up this this Iron Will talent, which is going to further increase your chance to resist stun and charm effects by an additional 15%. So this, in tandem with the Orc stun resist racial, will put you at a super high level of stun resist. And you might be able to play around with it and go a little bit deeper as well if he's really into Prot. I'm probably not the person to ask for it. I don't know too much about this in particular, but I do know that it's actually very viable to go down and get this Iron Will talent, especially if you're an Orc. Thank you for the 5, though. I really appreciate it, Cozy. I can ask around for you, too, man. I can ask Mooflake, who I'm making a warrior guide with. Horizontal. Okay, yeah, sorry. That's where I left off on. So we're going to do a little straw poll on horizontal content versus TBC. Now, really try and think about the betterment of the game here, guys. Trying to factor everything in because, you know, how are you going to feel about Classic if it becomes a Frankenstein-like retail? How much do you trust Activision Blizzard in 2019 or 2022, whatever the games industry is going to look like in 2022, to do a good job? Because then are you going to create a classic server again based on the Frankenstein that is the new, like, the new classic WoW? I don't know, man. It seems like kind of muddy, but believe it or not, last straw poll, horizontal content won. So we're gonna make a straw poll here. We'll see what you guys think. All right, 2 options: horizontal content or TBC. Actually, shoot, I gotta redo it. There's gonna be 3 options: horizontal content, TBC, or nothing. That's the other thing. All right, chat's going into the chat right now, boys. Let's see what you guys think. You could be so kind, do me a solid and vote on this. Let's get some good data here, some good insights into where the community's at right now. All right, no music. Let's skip through this. Okay, I'm gonna vote personally. I'm gonna vote TBC, man. I'd like to see TBC, even though vanilla is my favorite overall iteration of the game. TBC was pretty righteous, man. I don't want to sway anyone, though. I feel like TBC is winning now. It really took me. It was two weeks ago now. You know, I think I explained it in a more neutral way, the idea of TBC versus horizontal, and it was mind-blowing. I honestly went into that poll thinking that 95% of people were going to say TBC, and horizontal content won, kind of by like 30% or something like that, and I was shocked. But it seems like it's pretty, okay, it's evening out a little bit, man. 59 to 30. The community is a little bit torn in this, man. So I think, and 23 people with nothing, you know, they just want to leave it as is. You know, Classic is a beautiful thing. Best iteration of the game to have legacy servers. Let's leave it at that, because this is the best example of WoW. And then if you were to create TBC, it might have some psychological effect. It might devalue classic WoW as an achievement, as a historical achievement, if there's multiple versions of the game, multiple legacy servers. So I could see that line of reasoning as well. But either way, I don't think many people are going to be opposed to 2-3 years of just like no changes. Finally give us what everyone's been asking for so many years, and then we'll kind of evaluate in a few years. you know, where everyone's at. All right. So I don't know if I explained this duo lock thing. Oh well, it doesn't seem like people are too excited about it. If you are considering duo leveling, just try it out, man. I think it would be really sick. And before you even get this dark pack, you know, 40 plus leveling with this Curse of Exhaustion and stuff, the early levels with 2 locks is phenomenal as well, man. Like, just using Shadow Bolts, like, and 2 Imps, you are just like a freaking firing squad. It looks like you're shooting at a raid boss. You're seeing multiple bolts of fire, multiple bolts of shadow hitting this thing, and the thing is just evaporating. 2 Shadow Bolts is all you need. Then you get the Void Walkers. You can cycle through which Void Walker's dumping mana, so you can, you know, keep the regen and sustain up. It's really good stuff. Also, another thing, yeah, the weapon progression, man. The weapon progression being aligned is really good. Being able to craft that Lesser Magic Wand earlier with Synergistic Profession. Same with Greater Magic Wand. Gravestone Scepter, Gnomish Zapper, Cairnstone Silver. These are wands that are quest rewards that are pretty annoying to get, you know what I mean? Like having to go all the way to BFD and find a group and all this. But the fact that you both get massive value from them as a duo leveling combination makes it more worth it. I think it's much more like reasonable to think that the breakpoint towards making these the optimal line of play becomes much lower in a duo leveling environment. But we can go back to the launch prep stuff. You influenced the poll. Yeah, I didn't mean to. I can just, you know, elaborate on a little bit. TBC without flying mounts would be amazing. I don't know. I know a lot of people are on the fence. I think TBC was good with flying mounts, though. Like, it was almost designed for flying mounts. I don't know, how would you get to some of the places like TK and stuff with no flying mount? You'd have to do some weird stuff. Kargoz, honestly, I love World of Warcraft Classic, but the class options in TBC opened up so much. It's hard because a lot of favorite classes came into their own in TBC. Yeah, I almost feel like there's always going to be that sense of, like, you know, of class balance being a little bit off, though. I feel like in any environment, you know, it could be any expansion. It could be Wrath, it could be Kata, it could be friggin', you know, people say the PvP in Kata was awesome, right? People say, a lot of really good PvPers said that the PvP was at its height in Kata. I don't know. I didn't really play too much Kata. I just played it at a very casual level because I wasn't too into it. But I feel like there's always going to be that sense of, like, you know, the classes were better in another iteration of WoW. But yeah, I could see that as well. I mean, like, personally, my friend Jose, he loves TBC. It's his favorite. He loves Illidan. He loves the Warglaives. He loves the weapons, and the Blood Elf zones are beautiful, I have to say, man. Like, what was that place called where the Blood Elves go with the dailies? It wasn't Timeless Isle, right? What was it? Someone help me out here. Remember that Blood Elf area where it's kind of like a little island and Sunwell's there? And they got you get the White Mountain there, the Hawkstrider Mount. That place was sweet. I love the PvP battles there. People rolling up in Brutal Glad, man. Sunwell Isle? Oh, Isle of Keldanas. That's it. Yeah, I loved Isle of Keldanas. Beautiful zone, man. Doing the dailies there, man. Beautiful. Great memories from that. Yeah, Isle of Keldanas. There we go. If they can find records of it... Okay. God, I love how I just see a comment and get inspired. I'll read your comment first. ACS, if they can find records of it, I want them to release the vanilla unreleased content, the BG that never saw the light of day. I know where you're going with this. That did sound really sweet, man. Player housing. Ooh, I don't know about player housing, though. Basically, finish vanilla WoW with the content they wanted in it. So what I will say is it doesn't seem like rocket science. I'm not saying anything crazy here. But they definitely planned for Karazhan to be part of vanilla, right? There's a freaking instance portal down at the bottom. If you look way up at the top of the tower, you'll see a little flight path there, like, or the makings of a flight path. You'll see some griffins. You'll see another portal up there. They clearly designed Deadwind Pass to have some sort of use, I feel, and then just never got around to it, really. And, you know, overall, would I want horizontal content? No, but if it happened, a part of me would be really excited about the prospect of vanilla Karazhan, because Karazhan's probably my favorite raid overall out of all raids that have ever been a thing in WoW. Oh, Moo says, you mean the zone that destroyed WoW, huh? Keldanas Isle was the starting of the end? I never really thought about that. How so, man? It was kind of just a little spot. I don't know. Was it because it was like a little instance spot or something like that? Is that like, you're going with like, saying that's the beginning essence of sharding or something like that? Where are you going with that? All right, Infra. Yes, it was confirmed that Karazhan was supposed to be the last raid of vanilla, but delayed it to TBC because they ran out of time to release WoW or something like that. Yeah, vanilla Kara would be sick, though. I don't know. Outland, yeah. People were saying there's unfinished Outland in vanilla. Yeah, I heard about that too. I don't know, man. I just, ultimately, man, even if I start flirting with this stuff, start flirting with the idea of horizontal content, man, I just keep thinking, like, I don't know if Activision's going to be able to do it, man. They don't have the same team. You look at the dev team from back in the day, those guys, the nerdiness levels, the passion levels were off the Richter scale, man. Like, they just went above and beyond in every crevice of the game, and I don't know in 2019 or 2022 in this environment if we're going to be able to create something like worthy to have, like, you know, the classic WoW or vanilla WoW kind of tag on it, man. Kel was the first ketchup zone. Oh, interesting. Was it really? Ketchup zone. I guess they had some really good like vendors there and stuff, right? Actually, I remember back in Keldanos, you could buy the like PvP sets there and stuff too, right? They also forgot to close some of the best quest lines in the game, like the Missing Diplomat. Really? Missing Diplomat was never closed? I love that quest. It would be awesome if Classics would be developed that all content was planned to be in Classic is in Classic. Yeah, that's kind of what we're going with horizontal content. I think it would be cool too. But do I think it's what I would want? Probably not. I don't trust, you know, really Activision to pull that off. I think a lot of people are on the same page. I don't think Activision trusts themselves to pull it off. I think there's enough people that have been there, OGs there, to say, you know, we shouldn't really do this. It's not our code to touch. Okay, this is another thing I want to bring up, though. This is another kind of interesting point. So, as far as the little tip, this is something that I undervalued, I underappreciated in the past. I'm starting to get a bit more of an appreciation for it. But as soon as they become available to you, picking up stacks of the highest rank water or food. So, you know, are you going to use them every time? You know, whenever you are at 60% health, something like that? Probably not. But you will run into emergencies, man, where you're going to need it. And having the max rank food really does help you regen much, much faster. Thomas Dens with the 100 biddies, my man. Thank you, dude. IVNN hosting with 40 viewers, dude. IVNN, dude. I got to hit you with that host back someday. Welcome, guys. My name is Kargoz. I am a talking head here, primarily over on YouTube. Thank you, man. I'll try and do your host justice, man. Hope you had a great stream, my man. Thank you, bro. Oh yeah, check out IVNN, guys. He's an upcoming streamer. He's one studly looking dude. He's over on Twitch. Great guy, great guy. But water progression, food progression. This is something that I'm a little more enthusiastic about, and I'm starting to bake this into my leveling guide. So, you know, they don't always sell water in all the locations. Like, for example, like in Valley of Trials, you know, if you're leveling a Warlock or something like that, you want to buy ice cold milk in Valley of Trials because they're not going to sell it at Sen'jin. But as soon as you get to these breakpoints, 1, 5, 15, 25, 35, I think it's valuable to buy at least a couple, you know, maybe 20, just a stack of the highest ranked food and water, unless you're really a class that's like super sensitive to it. Ideally, I mean, you can have mages make it for you, but their food doesn't really keep up with this stuff. And a penny saved is a penny earned. You know, shaving off a second of kill speed is more or less equal to saving a second in regen, right? So a mana battery imp lock and a soul link lock due at 45 would probably be OP. Kind of. I like committing to one line of play though. When you have like multiple strats together and it kind of muddies the water a little bit, I get a little bit less enthusiastic. Could it work? Absolutely. It could, you know, if you went full demo and all the improved Woodwalker talents and all that with one. But the great thing about that double mana battery spec is that you're not really taking damage. Like, stuff is just slowed to infinity and beyond. You know what I mean? Like, you don't need to tank them or anything like that. Kargoz, do you think Lock Pally is better than Lock Priest? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. So Lock Priest is by no means bad, and the main value add that the Priest provides to that composition is Spirit Tap. Spirit Tap is insane, but the thing is, you often get Spirit Tap by finishing stuff off with Mind Blast, because you need to get that killing blow because there's a bunch of dots on it, right? But that's kind of like defeats part of the purpose of Spirit Tap, because one of the main benefits of Spirit Tap is that you're able to get it while wanding. You can already be outside the 5-second rule and get that Spirit Tap effect with a wand and be able to basically double dip on your Spirit regen. The other issue you find when you're going Lock Priest is that the Priest feels like he can't spend globals in some sort of valuable way. Like, Power Word Shield is okay. It's kind of like not that mana efficient. You can use it in between pulls, which is kind of nice, you know what I mean? But you're constantly pulling as a Lock Priest. You can Mind Blast, but you kind of use that towards the end. I mean, you could Mind Blast, but it just ultimately feels a little bit clunkier of a playstyle as opposed to other healers. Is it still good? Yes, I still believe it's tier 1. I still think it is phenomenal, a phenomenal thing, be able to throw up renews up on the Warlock, and there's still some more testing to be done there on the Warlock Priest front to commit to a really like aggressive Shadow Priest line where you're trying to sustain a little bit with you know, improved Vampiric Embrace. I don't think we fully explored that yet. It felt a little bit clunky though in the past because Shadow Form is so expensive. You don't have access to Renew, which is really your best like, you know, sustain tool. Best spec for Pally when leveling with a warrior, Holy or Ret. I'd go Ret. Yeah, I'd go Ret, man. Pally Mage is still better for AoE. Yeah, I would agree. But I think Pally Mage is where it suffers compared to Pally Lock. So Pally Lock may not be as good when it comes to AoE, but you get the double mounts, which is really awesome. I do think that there's some value there. You can turn that gold into something valuable for you guys. You also have a more flexible playstyle. So Pally Mage is kind of a lot more like pigeonholed into AoE grinding, right? Like, so the mage is going to have some limited frost talents and can frostbolt stuff for sure, but paladin single target damage is kind of super underwhelming in that sense. Whereas opposed to with the Pally Lock, you can just move and just keep throwing up amazingly efficient heals on the lock, and he's just tapping super aggressively, and the lock gets super ramped up by your heals, right? Where the mage doesn't get super ramped up by your heals, if that makes sense. So I think Pally Mage is probably absolutely BIS AoE leveling. I mean, probably Mage might have an edge on him, but it's the type of thing that it's like, I don't really know the optimal pulse for Duo Mage. Do I think it's probably the best AoE grinding? Yeah, Double Mage. But Pally Mage is really, really good as well. But Warlock Paladin has a little more flexibility in playstyle and some other advantages there as well. Also easier to find a group, right? Paladin, Warlock. I guess Paladin Mage would be sick too. Yeah. Warlock Curse of Shadows would boost the Shadow Priest. Yeah, but they're kind of short fights. I don't know. Would Warrior and Warlock be bad? I mean, yes and no. I mean, it's not the worst combination I can think of, but it's far from the best. I mean, there's going to be a lot of inherent accelerations that you experience when you dual level. It could be any two classes, any two specs. The idea that you're dual leveling will accelerate you in many, many ways. So if that's what you have access to, and what's the number one thing that's going to rip your dream, dual leveling? It's having a partner that's not on the same page, that you don't enjoy their company. If it's some asshole guy, but he's really good and you don't enjoy his company, you're going to be together for like freaking 5 days played. You know what I mean? Like, that's not going to last. But if your buddy wants to play Warlock and you want to play Warrior, go for it, man. That's going to be a better experience. And you're probably going to be more efficient too, just because you are, you know, have more synergy with your play styles. You communicate better. You're talking. You're having a better time. Your motivation is higher. All right. What is the worst possible combo? Worst possible dual leveling combo, man? Probably, I mean, it's hard to say worst. You know, worse than best, very polarizing, very black and white terms. If I had to say absolute worst, huh? Oh, man, I'd have to think about that. I'd have to think about that. What I have said in the past would be double rogue. I'm partial to agree double rogue, thinking about it. We were on the fence of saying like double warrior or rogue warrior. I don't think rogue warrior would be as bad anymore because the rogue could go full ambush spec and the warrior is able to provide that hard taunt for him to get that reliable ambush and backstab off. Double warrior, the reason why I like double warrior more than double rogue is that you do have access to like aligned cleave damage. You know, every 30 seconds together you can charge into a couple mobs and sweeping strikes, whirlwind, cleave them down. Rogues don't have access to that. They're very much that single target precision style of gameplay, but double rogue's going to fare a lot better in Stranglethorn Vale and, you know, in the middle of the pack. So there's a lot to unpack there. Yeah, but stealth is not like too powerful really while leveling anyway. Like the lower ranks of stealth are a little bit underwhelming, and PvP could still be good though. Warrior Hunter, where would be hindering the Hunter? Yeah, that's true, man. Warrior Hunter, it just feels bad. Like, part of the value add for dual leveling is when both parties feel like they're actually gaining something, right? Like, imagine you just put some super OP leveling with the trash tier leveler, like a warrior, you know, a trash tier solo leveling tier. It's gonna feel so like so like unfair, kind of like the warrior's gonna, you know, there will be some accelerations, don't get me wrong, but the hunter's just gonna be thinking like, damn, dude, I'm really like being held back here. Part of the essence of dual leveling is together stronger, having talents and builds and professions that synergize and complement each other so that together you're stronger than you would be individually, which is cool. I really think dual warrior is way underrated. Yeah, it could be. I mean, we were sort of trying it the other day. I mean, one issue is like, you know, warriors generate rage when they hit stuff and when they get hit. So like if you're charging the same target, one warrior is going to be generating substantially less rage, but you could kind of get around that by just charging different targets and managing the threat a little bit so you're both getting hit. And I do think once you get like sweeping strikes together, you could do some gnarly pulls, man. Like you're just, you know, pretty much clapping 3 mobs down every time together, every few seconds. What is the best hunter duo outside of another hunter? Okay, in my mind, it would be absolutely Druid. Feral Druid. For one, they both get that super early movement speed bonus, online feline swiftness, and they get aspect of the cheetah. Also, the Druid is going to be able to shred from behind. So you're going to kill stuff really, really quick, right? So imagine it, like, the Druid's going to give the pet thorns to further boost its threat a little bit. What is this music, dude? Let me go back to the beginning, dude. This is like some Silithus shit right here. All right. So the hunter's going to go set his pet at the target. I'm going to engage that target. Pet's going to move faster than Druid, or about the same speed. He has bestial swiftness, right? Anyway, the pet's going to get some initial threat on it. The Druid's going to run up behind and open up with a shred. Hunter's going to hit him with a few shots. The mob's dead. You're just going to go super high single target damage. You lack AoE damage, but, you know, I think they could do pretty good, man, if they've stayed very quest-focused, quest-minded. Warrior Hunter is good. The hunter won't need to worry about controlling their pet. The warrior can taunt for the hunter. Yeah, but you don't have any sustain, though. You can't really, like, heal or anything like that. Too bad. Opinions on shamans in duo. Oh, yeah, double shaman could be sick. What did we try? We tried double Ellie. Double Ellie was fun. Double Ellie was fun, man. You pretty much, you open up with, like, I mean, every 3 minutes, you just delete shit. Like, when you have Elemental Mastery and you get that guaranteed crit, you can just... That Wombo combo is actually super viable. Like, every 3 minutes. It's something that's, like, the ideal line of play. You find 3 mobs, you open up with the Lightning Bolt, Elemental Mastery, Chain Lightning, and then as the mobs are coming, you can drop the, what is the totem that, explodes? Like, the AoE totem, Fire, Combustion totem, something like that. You drop those, and if you have a good timing, they'll run at you, and then the totems will go off, and they're fucking Nicky Night. Those mobs are dead. That is a lot of fun. It didn't feel that mana inefficient too. It really didn't. But another way to go about it is to go like elemental with 2 shamans, but you don't really use the elemental playstyle in the sense where you're hard casting, you know, lightning bolts, max rank and stuff. You're just fishing. You just drop a bunch of totems and you fish with rank 1 spells. Rank 1 Earth Shock, you pull with rank 1 Lightning Bolt, you're barely using any mana, you're refreshing your Lightning Shield mid-combat as you're kiting stuff around, you're really losing very little mana, you know, double healer potential, you have double wipe prevention. I think double shaman's pretty sick. You can also align your, you know, weapon progression, that you can both pop into Wailing Caverns, get your Crescent Stabs, one can tank, one can heal. And if you're both going that kind of melee route, you can find totems that are going to benefit from you. Also, the double taunt totem, pretty sick. The Shaman Taunt totem is actually kind of cool. What's the best duo with mage in terms of dual boxing? Dual boxing. So you'd have to like tab over to another tab, and I actually have no idea, bro. To be honest, I mean it'd probably be a paladin. Yeah, it'd probably be a paladin because it's like really like easy, kind of like you just throw down a Consecrate with Righteous Fury. And that paladin is pretty tanky and robust. He's going to be fine, while the mage is like, you can use Blizzard or something. Because that's not very an APM intensive thing. And Consecrate has a lingering effect, right? That's what comes to mind right off the bat. Did you guys try Priest? We've tried everything, bro. We've tried literally every class combination. Priest Warrior was pretty sick. Yeah, we tried, Priest Warrior is a classic, you know? One thing that was interesting, though, is Star Shards. The Night Elf ability. Let me show you guys. Let me pull it up. So Star Shards, I mean, it still is kind of a meme, don't get me wrong. It's nothing to write home to mom about, but the DPME on Star Shards is not bad. And it allows you to go Discipline. You don't need to go into deep Shadow Talents. It also has no cooldown. Let me see if you guys can even see that, though. Can you guys even see that? You can, right? Okay. So yeah, Star Shards is not the worst DPME, man. Like, it's this channeled thing. So channeled spells have some... you know, downsides inherently, because it the 5-second rule you won't start working your way towards that 5-second rule regen, outside the 5-second rule regen, until after the channel is like finished, kaput. So there's some downsides there, but it works in kind of a cool way with Spirit Tap. So pretty much the rotation is that you throw up Shadow Word Pain, Warrior's doing his thing. It's very much a single target playstyle, right? But you hit him with Star Shards, and Star Shards does more damage on the back end of Star Shards. So you pretty much Shadow Word Pain, right? Then you wand maybe twice, 2 globals on wand, and then you Star Shards, and you can time it in a way that one of the last 2 ticks of Star Shards will connect and kill the mob, and you'll get Spirit Tap. And it felt very, very good this way. You can also go Discipline, get that Spirit buff, buff the Warrior with Spirit, and the Warrior can stack Spirit, and you'll have, like, no downtime. It felt pretty good. That, again, that's only a Night Elf consideration, though, as well. I've been killed by Star Shards a shameful number of times. When does Classic come out? Preston Money, welcome to the stream, dude. No one knows for sure. This summer, though, fam. How was Warlock Shaman? That's one of the ones we didn't test too much, but we didn't see a lot of immediate synergies with it. Like, you could kind of dot stuff up and kite them around a totem, sort of, but the Warlock doesn't really benefit much from the totems, right? It wouldn't be bad by any means, right? I mean, Healer and a Warlock. Healer and a Warlock, you're going to have a good time. Theory crafting around Star Shards, just Kargoz things. I know, man. The nerdy levels go deep here. They go deep. Warlock Shaman is really strong. Really? I mean, if you could point out the synergies to me, I would appreciate it. It doesn't seem like they get too much value from the totems. Going deep destruction and deep elemental, I could see that. You can kind of delete stuff. I just see you might have some mana issues there, but okay, it could be fun. Yeah, just blowing stuff up. Synergy with the Shadow Priest or Pharaoh, please. So Shadow Priest, leveling a priest, probably the #1 thing I would go would be probably with a Warlock still. Honestly, Warlocks are just so good. Even though it's not like God tier, Warlock Priest still is very strong. And then with a Rogue Druid is the nuts. I was so delighted to report that Rogues have a good duo leveling spec. It was really saddening to me that I was thinking that Rogues were a very selfish class. They couldn't bring anything to the table, and they couldn't be a good duo leveling partner, considering how passionate I am about duo leveling. Rogues are pretty freaking awesome, man. If they go full ambush spec, I really think Feral Druid, Rogue, is kind of the nuts. Cam Weber with the $5, you are a stud. Dude, thank you very much, Cam. Really appreciate that, dude. That's kind of you to say. Thank you for the 5, bro. Canada 5. Got the 5 Canuck bucks. Yeah, so Feral Druid Rogue is really, really a lot of fun. I mean, especially for the first levels. Don't knock it till you try it, guys. I don't think you've ever seen stuff die that fast. A Feral Druid, pull him with Fairy Fire, whatever, in bear form. Taunting the mob, the Rogue opens up from behind with ambush, with a pair of halfway decent daggers. You can't type delete fast enough before the mob dies. The Rogue just absolutely deletes the mob. It's really, really fun to watch. It falls off a little bit towards, like, you know, once you start to get into like the 50s, but it's still really good. Thanks for loving, man. Oh, Light Yagami. I realized Light Yagami, dude. Yeah, I see you here all the time, man. Thank you. Yeah, no problem, man. Alright, Troll Priest is the most underrated thing for PvP. Yeah, blackout interaction with, shoot, what is that thing called? The orb shield, like the lightning shield thing, right? That thing is sweet. Yeah, the Troll Priest thing, absolutely. Oh, Shadow Guard, you said it, yeah. Troll Priest is the most underrated thing for PvP. Everyone always says go undead, but Shadow Guard is crazy OP. The good thing about Shadow Guard is there's no cooldown on it, right? And you can play around the big Devouring Plague. It's very mana intensive. It's something that you can stone form off potentially. Like, there's ways of getting it off you, and it's a big cooldown. It's supposed to Shadow Guard can proc blackout. No cooldown, not a very mana intensive type of thing. It's very hard to play around the value add from Shadow Guard. Totally agree, Pez. Shadow Guard is awesome, dude. Troll Priest Hex in PvP is broken. I haven't played around too much with that Hex thing. What is that called? Hex of Weakness? Is that what it's called? I think it's called Hex of Weakness, right? Let me look it up. Hex of Weakness. Spells, Hex of Weakness, max rank. Weakens the enemy, reducing damage caused by 20 and reducing the effectiveness of any healing. Aha, dude. It's like a little Mortal Strike, dude. Interesting, dude. Very interesting. I wonder if this stacks with the Mortal Strike effect. And I wonder what type of I'm assuming this is a curse, right? It's got to be a Hex. Hex has got to be a curse. Very cool. Yeah, I think I've been sleeping on this. This is good. Really cool. How many classic servers will go live, man? I really don't know, but I hope that Blizzard is cognizant to the fact that there could be a lot of people that want to play this game, man. I hope that they don't make too few servers. I think that could imagine if there's millions of people that want to play the game and there's not enough servers. A lot of those people won't give it a second chance. So, you know, they're way smarter than I am. I feel like they would, you know, at least think about that a little bit. But I hope there's enough, man. Think about it, though. So if there's 5 mil people playing, someone do the math. I think I attempted to do the math on stream before and I failed. Let's say 5 mil people want to play on launch, and the server cap is, let's pick a nice round number. Let's say it's 3K. 3K server cap. How many servers do we need? When is actual release? No one knows for sure, man. It's gonna be this summer at some point, though. Any blue posts since the PvP schedule? No. I think they've been coming out on a Thursday, though. Oh, Kill, what's up, dude? Welcome to stream, dude. Yeah, I think we're... hopefully we get one, fingers crossed, Thursday, right? Dude, I love this iced coffee, man. It's got me hype. Alright. Hex is not a curse. It's a unique on-horde only sham totem. Hex is its own thing? Holy shit, that's kind of cool. So you can't remove this? It's almost like Death Coil is like a horror effect. Is it that type of thing where like nothing can really interact with it? 3K server cap is online people though. What's the total server cap? 10K. Oh yeah, right. Yeah, what do you think? I mean, yeah, let's say it's 10K. How many would they need? You have to take into account the login queue to the master. I feel like Infra, you would know how to do this, man. Big brain Infra, dude. Help me out, man. Help me out. Kargoz, are you going to announce what server you're rolling on? So probably what we're gonna do, I think we were talking about this the other day. Once the servers are out and we're going live and launch, we're gonna get together with like kind of the inner circle of the guild, and then just kind of at random pick servers and try and reserve names on them and stuff, and whatever we can get. I mean, it doesn't really matter, right? We're gonna play on a PvP server. I mean, ideally, I'd like to play on my old server name, you know, like maybe Dark Iron or something, but you know, I'm not too worried about that. I think that's how we're gonna do it, and then we'll announce it like later after everybody gets all set up. But if you're part of the guild, yeah, we'll release that information as soon as possible. Lock Hunter? I mean, it feels kind of weird. It feels weird, man. The reason why Lock Hunter feels weird to me is that Hunter damage win condition isn't so much like dot related. Oftentimes you're not even using Serpent Sting because like stuff is dying too quick. Like you'd rather, even though Arcane Shot doesn't deal as much damage, like the mobs are just dying too quick. Like, and the Warlock is kind of rotten stuff with multiple dots and multiple rows. I think it's one of the more underwhelming ones. Like, you could make it work for sure, but like the way you would make it work kind of is like the Lock and Hunter are there and they're just playing independently up until the point where they need to kill, you know, get an objective done or something like that. Then they come together and kill the name mob or whatever. But as far as like a mob to mob grinding type basis, I feel like the Lock is pulling one, the Hunter's pulling one, and you're just kind of going about doing your own things independently. There's some crossover value though, in the sense you can provide Hellstone and Soulstone to yourself, but I don't know. It doesn't stick out to me as some like insane tier 1 combo. Yeah, exactly. Spencer Lewis said it well. Hunter is just efficient single target damage. Warlock is all about multi-target juggling mobs, right? You're always juggling 3-4 mobs at a time, especially when you get the AoE Voidwalker taunt. I'm going to play this until I run out of fun. Well, you might be in for the long run, Earth, because I don't know if you're ever going to stop having fun playing that vanilla WoW. Rogue Priest duo or hell not? It'd be okay. Rogue Priest would be all right. I mean, the thing is, where I do think it kind of struggles a little bit is that like the priest buffs don't really accelerate damage. They just give you more health, right? Like you can give spirit buff, you can give health buff. You can provide a bubble, which is kind of nicer on a rogue than a warrior because you don't have to worry about the rage mitigation aspect of it. But the cool thing about priest warrior, why I like it, is that you really are ramping up the warrior's damage with the heals. Like they're taking more damage because they can afford to take more damage because they have a healer. They're able to cleave multiple targets down. The rogue is really only going to be able to take out really like one target at a time, Blade Flurry every 2 minutes, and be able to kill 2. It'd be interesting to play around with, though. If there would be a way, I could be sleeping on this, there could be a way for the Shadow Priest to generate a lot of threat, and then the Rogue to go full ambush spec. That could be cool. Honestly, I have not played around with that at all in that playstyle, so if there's a will, there's a way. With pretty much every class dual leveling combination, you can find a way to make it work, and find a really interesting playstyle to engage with. Isn't Undead Priest better than Troll Kargoz? No. Pretty much, in what respect? PvP? Maybe? It's kind of like a gray area in PvP. Some people love the Troll kit in PvP, like this Hex of Weakness that we're looking at right here, the Shadow Guard interacting with Blackout. Some people like, in a 1v1 environment and not a pre-made environment, right? 1v1, if you're an Undead Priest and you throw up Devouring Plague and that person can't take that off them for whatever reason, that's going to have massive value, you know what I mean? That's like a dueling type 1v1 environment, though, you know what I mean? But then in PvE, pretty much Troll is just like this, dude. Troll like has the only real racial that interacts with casters and benefiting them in some way with the whole berserking. And pretty much any class that plays Troll can do the whole meme where they take off their gear, put it back on, pop a demonic rune, pop their racial, and get massive haste bonus at the beginning of the fight. So Troll is really, really quite good. It's kind of best in PvE for pretty much all the casters. Yo, Kargoz, I'm leveling a warrior and planning on server first warrior, at least close to it. Nice, dude. Jonathan, dude. Right on, dude. If I'm leveling with the priest, is it worth getting whirlwind axe or is it that? Yeah, absolutely, dude. What about solo? Okay, solo. Yeah, I mean, that's another acceleration, dual leveling, right? Like completing these big obnoxious class quests become much more doable, much more, you know, realistic and viable. You can obtain them at an earlier level. Doing it solo, I mean, you're not going to really be able to solo that whirlwind axe, bro, until you get pretty high up in levels. I would just find a group, though, and try and knock it out. Get some guildies to help you. Another thing that I've been told by some pro warriors, though, that if you're an alliance warrior, you can just skip right over the whirlwind axe and go straight Bonebiter. You can get the SM quest and get the Bonebiter, because Bonebiter is sick. Let me pull up Bonebiter. Look at Bonebiter. We can compare it to whirlwind axe. It's also an axe, 38.8 damage per second. Top end is 105 to 159, so top end 159. Speed 3.4, 20 strength, 10 stam. Check out whirlwind axe. 38.4 versus 35.6, 3.6. So Bonebiter is slower as well, right? What was it? Was Bonebiter slower? 3.6 versus 3. Oh no, Bonebiter is faster. I mean, they're both good though, right? They're both good. I probably still would prefer Whirlwind Axe, right? It's slower. I do value the slow speed. Yeah. But yeah, you can skip over if you're Alliance. I don't know if you're going Alliance or Horde. Is Bonebiter worth the time though? Yeah, I think so, because it's a guaranteed quest reward. That's the thing. It's very valuable when stuff is a guaranteed quest reward. In the name of the light. Let my dog out real quick. 1 second. Be back. 2 seconds. Level 34, yeah, but you can't do it at, I mean, you have to basically full clear out SM, right? Isn't that the quest? You have to go do, don't you have to do, like, Graveyard, Cath, you have to kill, like, all the main guys, so, I mean, you have to do that with SM, but, I mean, it's guaranteed, which you really value highly. Stuff that's a massive weapon upgrade that's guaranteed, super good. He's aiming for server first. He's going to be way ahead of the pack, and a lot of materials won't be on AH for him to get it. It's literally going to slow him down. Yeah, totally. Okay, good. Totally good, valid point. Acking, yeah. So if you're going for server first, you're really high speed, low drag. First of all, I wouldn't do it with a priest unless the person's maybe an amazing player and you know something that I don't know. If you're Horde, I would for sure level with a shaman, dude. Shaman's going to be able to accelerate you way more than a priest. If you're going Alliance, I'd probably level with a... Man, okay, maybe it is Priest then. Yeah, maybe it is Priest on Alliance. You could go Druid as well, but yeah, I think Priest actually might be better, interestingly. Okay, I see what you mean. So you're probably going Alliance then, I'm assuming. Kargoz, you should look at Ravager. On private servers, the Whirlwind proc resets your swing timer. So you can debuff straight after the first cleave. Yeah, a lot of people are... So Ravager functions in really funky ways on multiple private servers. Like, each private server is kind of different with the way Ravager works. So I'm interested about that too, man. Paladin Warrior, I'm not a huge, like, tremendous fan of Paladin Warrior. It's very much single... Like, a big part of dual leveling, like, it's a slept-on piece of the puzzle of the equation is pulling potential. Pulling potential is kind of nice. Someone who can easily, with high mobility, pull. Paladins are pretty shite at pulling. Warriors are pretty shite at pulling. It feels kind of clunky. You're running around with these big two-handers. It's very much a single target kind of thing. And the early levels feel pretty rough, I have to say. Paladin Warrior. Speed up a little bit once Warriors get cleave package and everything. But I mean, in PvP, they're super strong, and some people love them. I overvalued Paladin Warrior until you try it. It's the type of thing you just have to try out. Feel out the combat efficiency playing Paladin Warrior. Doesn't feel as good as other healers. Look at Totemic Shaman talents. They can literally make any class way stronger with just a few totems. Totemic... Let me see. What am I missing here? Totemic Shaman talents. You're saying Resto? Resto? Totemic Mastery? Increasing the radius of your totems? Is this the one you're talking about? I like going Ellie, man. especially in a duo, man. Like Ghost, you're only as fast or as agile and mobile as your weakest link, man. So you know, if you're partnering up with in a duo environment as a shaman, like you don't necessarily need to go for the improved Ghost Wolf right off the bat. Resto Shaman is way better for Warriors IMO, and Wind Fury. Yeah, Wind Fury changes the game for sure. It's like having a third person in your group. Wind Fury is the nuts, but I wouldn't go Resto. I would go Elemental. I mean, there's no real accelerators in Resto. You don't really need all these talents, man. Like, you know, pretty much the best thing you can do is like, if you're really worried about resource generation or whatever like that, just start fishing for clear casts in Elemental. And then if your playstyle as Elemental Shaman Warrior, I mean, you're still going to be swinging a two-hander up in melee range, but once you get a clear casting proc, man, if he's fighting multiple mobs and you max rank chain lightning them, dude, Nicky night. We got a Twitch Prime subscriber, Chaos Master 787, dude. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the fam. Good to have you here, buddy. 100% get Bonebiter as Alliance on a fresh server. Don't even bother with Whirlwind. Whirlwind's kind of pain in the butt, yeah. Ellie Shaman is so fun. It really is so fun. It is very satisfying being able to wombo people. And if you go max rank too, you can actually weave in the shock too. So you can like lightning bolt, chain lightning, and shock all with like one Omega Blast. It's kind of cool. You have to cast spells for Elemental Focus, not melee. Which one are you talking about? Elemental Focus? Yeah, you fish with rank 1 clear. You fish with, actually you end up getting concussion even though it's not that great. I'm totally on the same page, dude. But pretty much the strat when you're leveling a Shaman, I think this is the new meta of leveling a Shaman. You set your totems up. We've come to the conclusion that both Searing Totem and Mana Spring Totem are worth it even on a mob-to-mob basis. So you drop your totems up, and then you can pull with rank 1 Lightning Bolt and rank 1 Shocks until you can proc clear casting. Once you proc clear casting, then you max rank Shock and you just dance around Earthbind totem kiting stuff. Decreases your kill speed a little bit, but a lot less than you think, and you're going to end the fight with pretty much full resources. So the main pain point while leveling a Shaman is going to be your mana issues. You're always going to be like one misplay away from being screwed as far as resource management is concerned. So I really, really value this Elemental Focus super highly. It feels like it's always proccing. It feels really incredible. And then pretty much you can actually get Elemental Devastation and Flurry. So you can fish on multiple fronts. You can fish for clear casting procs, but you can also fish for Elemental Devastation and Flurry at the same time. Do you think Classic will have front stabbing? No, Wakish doesn't look like there's gonna have it, but it's okay. Just do a level and have someone who can tank, and then you can be, you know, behind backstabbing, ambushing, front, you know, shredding to your heart's content. Just do a level, man. All good. Hunters do really good DPS while leveling, and all the way until Expo and BWL. Until Expo and BWL, when they get that Expo and BWL, they do some sick damage, dude. The Ashtrathul, they fall off after that. I mean, they start to fall off a little bit between, yeah, like after BWL starts getting a little bit old. I mean, Ashtrathul is a major power spike for them. That's pretty much, even getting the KT crossbow doesn't boost as much as you would think. Ashtrathul is like massive impact for a hunter. It's as close as it gets as far as like perfect weapon speed and shit. Paladin or Shaman, the eternal question. That's a big question though, man, because that's Horde or Alliance. There's a lot on the line right there by saying Paladin or Shaman, man. They're both good. Do you like a defensive playstyle? Do you like an offensive playstyle? Shamans with Purge and Grounding Totem being proactive. Paladins being reactive. Oh shit buttons, Blessing of Freedom, Bubble. You know, Lay on Hands. Priest, Warrior, Mage, 3's leveling. That's a good comp. It'd be pretty solid. I mean, it'd be pretty solid. Yeah. One thing I've noticed about mages, though, this is one thing that's really been an exciting revelation, is that if you have someone who can hold them in place and you're going to AoE grind as a mage, you might as well go Arcane at that point, man. Like, the Arcane kills so efficiently, man. Like, it does so much more damage than Frost. You can also get clear casting. You can also crit with Arcane Explosion. That's if you have a tank that's holding them in place. And pretty much with any, like, 3's comp, you're going to pretty much be, I don't know, man. Okay, I can't speak definitively on there because I haven't really tried it. You either have to like go super hard and like rely on quests a lot. I mean, you're really fighting a lot of XP deterioration. So you have to go super hard with the quests and find a route that's going to allow you to, you know, still keep up the XP per hour doing quests, or you're going to AoE grind elites. Arcane is underrated, yeah, man. Look at these Arcane talents, dude. What is shit in the Arcane tree? Like, if you have a big if you have a Prot Pally, or if you have a healer and a warrior, man, like, check out these talents, man. You have Arcane Subtlety, Arcane Focus, freaking Clear Casting, amazing, dude. Improved Arcane Explosion, Amplify Magic, improved. This is really, really good with the Paladin. I talked about it before, too. But this with Blessing of Light, man, you can heal like an absolute monster. So then you get Arcane Meditation. This isn't like, it's not unique to Druids, man. You get 15% of your mana regeneration to continue while casting, dude. That is awesome. I don't know. It's really good stuff. I like Arcane. You don't have to go... Pretty much the most valuable stuff in Arcane, though, is up to here. You could get out of Arcane after this point, Arcane Meditation. This stuff is kind of cool. You know, Presence of Mind, Flame Strike, Arcane Power, dealing this, like... It feels good. When you're going Paladin Mage, the 3-minute bop aligns with the cooldown of Arcane Power. So the Mage can pop Arcane Power and just go full Zug, and you can just bop him, and you guys are Gucci. Actually really fun. Don't think any tanks can keep aggro when you AoE, man. Oh, you can, dude. Like, so... the Paladin would give the Mage... So imagine if you're Paladin Mage, right? You give the Mage Blessing of Salvation, reducing their threat. Also, if threat is really an issue, you can get Frost Channeling, reducing threat caused by Frost spells even more. So you have Salvation plus this, dude. Look how much threat reduction that is. You have, Look at this. Max Strength Frost Reduction is 30% Frost Reduction plus Blessing of Salvation. Dude, that is severely reducing your threat, right? And even if you do get threat, if you're blizzarding, they're going to be slowed, walking you like potatoes. You're going to give a chance for the Paladin to catch up or whatever, just bop you, whatever, get the threat off. 200% Zug. If you like grinding over questing, I would go 3-man. Something I've really totally yet to tap into. I'm really excited about the concept of group leveling. I do think it's like super efficient and fun and just checks all the boxes on why I love Classic WoW. Just really loving it. So if I'm understanding this Whirlwind Weapon and Bonebiter debate, you have potential to get Whirlwind Weapon earlier, but Bonebiter will take over once. I mean, yeah, you can have the potential to get Whirlwind earlier in the sense that you get the quest at 30, and if you have like your guild who's going to carry you, and you can just buy the mats off the auction house, those little elemental shits, or like funnel them from a character, yeah, you can totally get it earlier. But on a fresh server with no kind of help, like, you probably could obtain them around the same time. But they're about equal as far as power level. Skinning mats will be low on price at the beginning of the server because everyone's going to run it. Yes, but you pretty much, if you want to go skinning, that's one really great thing about going, like, if you are duo leveling and one of you has leatherworking, you can convert those skins into greens that you can disenchant, and those are going to be way more orders of magnitude more valuable than the skins themselves. But if you're just solo leveling and you're not interested in funneling those skins over to an alt, worst case scenario, you can just vendor those skins and still get a nice little chunk of supplementary income to help you with your ability acquisition and stuff like that. Dude, if a Paladin can't keep threat off Mage Blizzard, they're doing something very wrong. Yeah, improved Righteous Fury, throw it out that Consecration, man, profit. Why would you want the aggro? They slowed the Mage, won't get damage anyway. You're saying, why would you want the aggro as the Paladin? That's what I used to think that a lot. You know, the idea that mages have this infinite value loop where you don't even have to take damage. But, that's why I like Arcane a lot, because you don't have to, you're not messing with Blizzard. So the more accessible way to do Paladin Mage would be to go like this, Frost Arcane hybrid. Like, it's very smooth, very accessible. The pulls are very stable. If you were to go double Mage, you have a much higher chance of screwing up the pulls. Double Paladin Mage, you have so much wiggle room. You can totally mess up, and you can throw on Concentration Aura and have 100% pushback resistance and just freaking holy light yourself in the Mage and be totally fine and still, still come out on top. I think it's definitely a little bit of a higher skill cap going Arcane Mage Pally. But I prefer the Arcane Mage style, but this is still very good as well. Does XP degrade too much in a 5-man leveling group? So pretty much you get starting at 3 people and up, you'll get a bonus to XP. So you'll actually get more XP for killing that mob, but it's split amongst however many people are in the group. So 3, 4, or 5. So as you get higher and higher up to 5, you'll get the highest amount of an XP bonus. There's some videos on this. I forgot the actual values myself, but some people like to speculate that it's either like 2-man or 5-man. I've heard this like thrown around as a nugget before. You either duo level or you just go full 5-man, 5-man AoE grinding, and you just like grind elites or something like that. All right. I feel like this group is going to be so prepared compared to the sleeper cells and retails. Let's go, boys. Hell yeah, Sleepy 2, man. We in here. We putting in that work in the lab, theory craft, and talking about Classic. We're going to be super prepared, super high speed when it launches. It's going to be an era, boys. It's going to be an era. These are the people here before the eye of the storm hits, man. Do you think the warrior can hold aggro in the mage warrior comp, or will the warrior be... No, I mean, you could totally hold aggro as a warrior. Yeah, absolutely. The thing, it's kind of cute too. The mage can sheep you, so you don't have to... I mean, he can give you food too. It doesn't do as much as you might think. I thought polymorphing the warrior in a duel after you kill stuff would be like insane regen. It heals like 12% a tick, so it's like ticks every 2 seconds. You get 12% for free. It's kind of nice. Warrior gets low, sheep them. But I would just... It's one of those things where I would just feel as the mage Damn, I'm being held back by this warrior right now. I could be in Tannerus killing like 20 pirates right now, man. Instead, I'm stuck with this slow poke right now. Is Druid Lock duo leveling viable? Absolutely. Yeah, it's basically God tier. Yeah, we put it at God tier. It's a very interesting playstyle, though. The Druid is just constantly fishing for clear casting procs with Omen of Clarity, and then just throwing up regrowths on the Warlock every time it procs. So they're just tapping aggressively, highly mobile, hots and dots playstyle. So that's something that the more of a wizard tier player you are, the more you're going to value that high mobility, move while killing playstyle as opposed to AoE grinding. If you know exactly where you're going and why, and you know what the next 3, 4, 5 steps are ahead as far as quest progression, what zone you're going to next, what quest you're going to do next. But it is very, very strong. Lock Druid. Can you name all the god tiers? Yeah, it's Warrior Shaman. It's a somewhat of a slow start, but still not even that bad. And I love how you can align some of the weapon progression, like getting Crescent Staffs and the Barons. Like, that's just such a freaking humongous power boost. And then once Warrior gets Sweeping Strikes and Chain, like, I don't know, Warrior Shaman is the nuts. And then once you get Wind Fury, it's like literally having a third person. It's Paladin Lock is the other one we put. Warlock Druid is the other one we put. And I think the other one was Duo Mage. Duo Mage is God tier. I think that might have been it. There's only like 4 that were really up at that super, super insane level. Shamans are not slow at first with 2-handed staffs. I mean, yeah, I'm saying relatively to other god tier combinations. We're talking amongst like the god tier bracket of duo levelers, but they're not that slow. Once you get the double Crescent Staff and Wailing Caverns, which you can absolutely do because you have full control of the group, being tanking and healing, you're going to walk out of there. Before that, you would have like 12 DPS weapons. You would have like Samaflange Screwdriver. This is the weapon you would have before getting the Crescent Staff. Check this out. Just think about how much of a power boost this is. And this is not even bad. You get this from that Samaflange quest in the Barrens. 12.6 damage per second. You got a chunk of Spirit on there. Not bad, right? 2.5. You know, you're getting this at level. What level you get this? 15? Samaflange Screwdriver. Not bad. Not bad, right? And then you walk out of Wailing Caverns. Both of you have this. 12.6 to 20.3 plus 7 int plus 7 Spirit plus 7 stamina. This is the nuts, man. And it's a guaranteed quest reward for doing Wailing Caverns. Not really far out of your way. You're doing the Forgotten Pools anyway. You're doing all the prerequisites. You walk in there, you knock out Leaders of the Fang. Bada bing, bada boom. You walk out with double Crescent Staff. You're going to be like two-shotting stuff together. How do I find someone to duo level with? I just start networking right now, man. Finding people with the same schedule. And even if you only duo level for, 10, 15 levels or something like that, and then one person falls out, loses interest, you can just find another person, At least you know what kind of classes synergize with your class, and you can keep, keep it going. Shaman Warrior. The Warrior gets carried sub-level 25. A little bit. I mean, yeah, a little bit for sure. But, if with some sick weapon progression, getting the Crescent Staffs, man, like... The Warrior was doing good damage. Like, we were trying this the other day. Like, even though you don't have Sweeping Strikes, just cleaving, man. Cleaving with the Crescent Staff, like, damn. Damn, dude. What did you say the top 4 God tier dual leveling comps? It was Shaman Warrior, Paladin, Warlock, Warlock Druid, and Double Mage. Sarmonican, yo, dude. There's a lot of people in the Discord, for real? Hop on the Discord to find... Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, if you haven't already, man, you guys might want to join the Discord. We always have Hot Theory Craft in there. We do dank meme competitions every week, and we announce the winners on Good Morning Azeroth. We got a hell of a community in the Discord, guys. And, if you ever need anything, just message me, man. I'll try and help you out however I can. Pros and cons for Warrior compared to Rogue? Like, you mean overall as a whole? Like, that's a lot to answer there, man. I'd say if I had to boil it down to one point, though, I would say a Rogue is sort of like a Warrior in the sense that you're like a tier 1 DPS and... have some of the same benefits of melee, but if you value self-reliance a bit more than a Warrior and being able to go like pick and choose your fights and engage people out in the open world and disengage people and have a little bit more finesse, be a little bit less reliant on others for success, you might want to consider a Rogue. And that's the best argument I could give, because Rogue is probably one of my, probably my least favorite class in Classic, but even that I can find somewhat appealing of a value proposition. Rogue has stealth. Warriors, yeah. Also, some people just really don't have an interest in tanking and don't find that aspect of the game interesting. How do you feel about Warriors using their high DPS staffs to level instead of swords or axes? Yeah, absolutely, Alex. Before you get this, pretty much. All right, so pretty much before you get the deeper arms talents, which give you crit on axe, like this one, increasing your chance to crit with an axe. Like once you're deep enough to get this, like 30 plus, you have to start like evaluating whatever staff you would get instead. Like Resurgence Rod was a big one we talked about the other day. It's the quest reward for Muradin. You have to evaluate that weapon having like 5% less crit potentially. And once you evaluate it like that, it's like a no-brainer. Like you kind of are a little bit pigeonholed into using Axis for the remainder. But especially early on, the staff progression is probably like the best in slot weapon progression up until the point where you can, you know, start getting these deeper talents and Whirlwind Axe and all this type of stuff. Kelson89, subscribe to Twitch Prime, dude. Welcome to the channel, my man. My first 60 on a vanilla server was a rogue. Feels good, man. Cool, man. Cool. Best zones to simultaneously grind mobs and HKs if you're in a group. Grind mobs like for leveling, so you're gonna level and grind. I mean, there's not gonna be honor until phase 2, but let's say that you're leveling to 60 and it is phase 2. It's pretty much ST Vietnam, right? ST Vietnam's great. Now the Hillsbrad, South Shore, you know, the graveyards are close. You know, it's an easy run back. There's usually a good amount of PvP action going on there. Thousand Needles would be kind of good maybe if you're a Horde. You know, if you're a Horde, you're going to be Horde favored in that area. If there are Alliance brave enough to step in there, there's a bunch of places. How well do you think Warlocks stack up to Mages PvE-wise? Looking to roll a lock, but worried about not being invited to groups. Alliance, by the way. You're going to be really... Okay, if you're going Alliance lock, don't worry about getting invites to a group, man. Alliance locks are kind of hard to find, because there's a big sort of disincentive, if that's even a word, towards rolling an Alliance lock because you have to deal with Will the Forsaken and stuff. This makes a big impact when you see the reality of the distribution on the server. So Alliance locks, especially like early in a server, when you're trying to like progress through Gar and get the Banish, you're always looking for these Alliance locks. You're trying to snipe Alliance locks for your guild. I don't think you're going to have an issue. And the good thing about a lock, man, the quality of life is on point, man. Your pre-bis is easy to get, and you're like a fine red wine, man. You get better with age. As the further we go, the deeper we go into vanilla, you know, the higher parches you're going to get, and, you know, even they scale real well into Nax. I don't know. I love the Warlock quality of life the whole way through, man. And in this 1.12 environment, I don't think you're going to have any issues playing a Warlock. Troll Warriors best tanks? It kind of depends, man. So Troll Warriors best tanks, how do I answer this? Pretty much, you know, it seems like the meta when it comes to tanking is evolving around the idea that you want to generate as much threat per second as possible, and the fights in vanilla are balanced around threat, right? It's the main thing. So picking a ratio that's going to directly benefit that threat, the only one that really comes to mind is, well, there's a couple, like the sword specialization on humans has an impact, the axe specialization on orcs have an impact, but the berserking and actually being able to start with your gear off potentially, I mean, you're walking a fine line, but if you pop that berserking racial and you get that haste, that's going to generate the most threat out of all the races, and that's why people say Troll Warrior is BIS, because they have the potential to put out the highest TPS. What I would say about vanilla though, man, is like, don't worry about it, man. Like, there's so much going on with vanilla as far as consumes and taking what you can get. Play whatever race you like, resonates with you the most. With that said, I think Troll Warriors are badass, though. The animations on Trolls are sick, dude. Swinging that big two-hander, like kind of like Jamaican style, like kind of like capoeira style, looks sweet. Also, this haste increased GBC. What's GBC, Jose? Give me 1 second. Let me let my dog back in. Oh, global cooldown? No, the global you can't increase the global cooldown. That. I thought it was pertaining to something different. My bad. Okay, Kargoz, do you think running skinning and selling everything on the AH and switching to different professions later on will be worth it, or is it something too many people are going to do? Yeah, dude, skinning is good. I mean, the thing about skinning is if you are ahead of the pack, and this happened to me on Zethker. I was a hunter. I was one of the first people to 60 as a hunter. And I just went and farmed Devil Swords, man. Like, I didn't even know about a Mafia back then. I literally didn't even know that was a thing. But I was just able to solo Devil Swords and skin them for my guild. And, like, I made myself all the leather I needed and was able to get other people my guild leather. So skinning is good in that sense. Also, you can just sell the skins, again, and make some supplementary income. It doesn't take too much time to skin stuff. It's a very, like, easy, smooth progression. Like, as far as leveling it up, you're just killing beasts anyway. And, pretty much, yeah, it's a good profession. I pretty much done it so many times, like even on classes that aren't hunters, you know, like even if a caster or whatever, because oftentimes too when you skin stuff, that 2 seconds you spend skinning it or whatever it is, 1.5 seconds, like kind of gives you another tick or two of regen, and oftentimes it doesn't even, it makes it so you don't have to drink or anything. Right after skinning it, you can just go right into the next engagement. Is druid tanking viable? Hell yeah, brother, I love druid tanks. Especially, said this before, but you know, if the tanking meta is evolving in this way, where warriors, for those of you who don't know, it's a very like counterintuitive type thing, but warriors, the meta of tanking has shifted in a way where warriors are dual wield tanking. Not necessarily through progression, because in progression you're taking baby steps. You're trying to figure out how ham do I want to go. You know, you don't know your guild's offensive and defensive capabilities, but especially when stuff is on farm, Fury Defiance tanking all the way, bro, with dual wielding. So once you're in that environment, if that's the meta of tanking, which it seems like that's the meta we're going to be living in, the warriors can be crit and crushed. You don't have that shield, man. You can't really control the crit and crush like before. So that was the main drawback that druid tanks were always facing. People were always saying, why don't you have a druid tank? Because they can get crit and crushed. They can get crit and crushed. They can get crit and crushed. But if warrior tanks can get crit and crushed, a druid bear tank not only is going to help the gear be distributed more evenly and progress your raid's gear in a more organic way, because you can't just gear up a bajillion warriors, but they're like in full threat gear all the time, and they do sick damage. And the only real pain point to have, you know, with druids is the pull. You can get a little bit unlucky. Like the cool thing about Fury Warriors is that you're swinging with 2 weapons plus instant cast, that like there's so many things connecting that your pulls are a little bit more stable. You could just miss a couple mauls and it would be a bad time. But druids can actually main tank. They really can main tank. They have all the tools, whether or not your guild wants to use one or not, but they have the, mechanically they are able to main tank. And definitely off tank for sure. You can't really dual wield tank until you're AQ 40 plus kid. I've been talking to some pretty good warriors, man. I think they would probably disagree. I'd be interested in your perspective on it, but pretty much a lot of these warriors I've been talking to, like Mooflake, they're saying once you get a full set of raid gear on, like even just as you're partially through Molten Core, you can start dual wield tanking at that point. It's going to depend on your guild though, right? That's the thing about tanking. You know, it's not just you, man. Like if you're in a position where you don't have to worry about threat at all, you can itemize differently, right? If you're in a position where threat is a massive issue, you have to itemize differently. Your raid that's behind you is going to determine a lot. Dude, Fury tanks put on a shield? No, not necessarily, man. I mean, you can swap. The thing is, you can swap between shields and weapons in combat. It's not like it's not like you have to do it outside of combat. They're not mutually exclusive. You can swap between having a shield mid combat and going full dual wield. Have you done an add-on discussion? Slightly. We've talked about add-ons, but we don't really know exactly what's going to be available. I mean, there's certain stuff that, you know, almost certainly will be, like swing timers and you know, the tick trackers for mana and energy, stuff like that. But once we get a little bit closer, we know what kind of add-ons we have, we can do a discussion on that. What's your favorite open world BOE epic drop? Skullflame Shield. Skullflame Shield, probably. Sweet, I was forced to heal all the time as a druid in vanilla. Ha, looking forward to tank a bit. Yeah, I mean, druid tanks are sweet, man. That's probably one of the main value adds they have to the raid, is that you're just distributing gear a lot more organically, right? People say that in an idyllic, like super min-maxed raid environment, you would just take like as much melee and as many Fury Warriors as possible. But then you have to remember, how are you actually going to gear those people out? Like, how are you going to gear them out in an organic way? It's more of just a theoretical thing. The more DPS your raid does, the more viable Fury tanking becomes. Yeah, I mean, threat becomes more, you become more threat sensitive. That's the thing, though. Alliance, you can itemize a lot more defensively because you have Blessing of Salvation, right? Like that's a big game changer. So that's one general thing. Alliance can itemize a little bit more defensively. Horde have to be more aggressive. Yeah. All right, guys. So we've been streaming for 3.5 hours. I really appreciate your time here today, guys. This is much longer than I normally stream. I loved it, though. The time was, you know, absolutely flying. I'm going to hand you guys off now to a close friend of the channel. He's coming to my wedding. If you don't know of him somehow, after all these, you know, streams and stuff we've done and collaborations, definitely recommend you check him out. He's a hell of a player. He's a hell of a mage. He's the one gnome I'll give a pass to. It's North. So I'm a little bit tired now. Take a little break, get some food, guys. I'll be back tomorrow with more content. Thanks for hanging out with me today. As always, I really do love hanging out with you guys. It's the highlight of my day. So I'm going to end the stream here, boys. I hope you guys have a good day. Take care.